Yo, boys, can you guys hear me okay? Nice, nice, nice. Give it a few minutes. Let Dom get in, let the rest of the guys get in as well. Dom says he's never really used Discord before, so we'll give him a few minutes. Bros old money. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome in. Hey, Yang. How old is Dom? I don't know, bro. Yo, Dom, if you request to speak down at the bottom, I can bring you up. And yeah, guys, so we'll be running through questions on the live chat, but what we will also do is if any of you guys need help with your current store, whether that be ads, whether that be offers, conversion rate, anything that you need help with, then you can also request to speak, and then we'll bring you up on the stage and we can help you as much as we can. The only thing that I do ask is if you request to speak and come up on stage, actually bring some numbers with you so we can actually help you. So make sure that you know what you need help with and make sure that you're actually giving us the information so we can help diagnose your issue. Cam sound is lagging. Yo, Dom.
Hello, hello.
How's it going, bro? Long time no speak.
Oh, I'm freezing here. I'm freezing here in Cyprus. It got fucking cold last week or this week.
Oh,
But yeah, it got down to like 10 degrees Celsius, which doesn't sound cold, but in Cyprus this is like crazy cold because all of the houses are like summer houses, so they are not isolated. There is no heating, there is nothing, so it's fucking freezing here.
what
So
the
can't wait to go to Dubai.
bro? Dubai's cold. Like during the day it's fine, but then see as soon as it gets to
In the evening.
4 or 5 p.m., bro, it's cold as fuck.
Yeah.
You need a jumper.
Yeah, it's every year the same. Like I usually go to Dubai in like February or March for Affiliate World, and every time when I go, I'm surprised that it's so fucking cold, especially when you are at like JBR or at the beach when there is like a little wind or so. Pff.
Yeah, bro. I was out for dinner the other night with my girl, and then we legit she had to get a blanket in the evening, but the waiter came over and he offered me a blanket, but I was like, fuck no, I'm too based for that.
Uh,
But no,
yeah.
I appreciate you coming on, man. I know that I obviously know you, and I know that you're a killer in ecom, but I think you're a little bit more on the low key side of things. And I know you've been in the game for a long time, even longer than me. I think 2015, right?
Yes. So I mean, the first time I started in 2012, that was when I was setting up my first store and running the first ads. I think back then I lost like 2,000 euros or so and dropped it again and said, ah, fuck this, all bullshit, all scam. And then in like 2015, I came back to it and really started to do it. And then it picked up pretty quickly. And yeah, since then I'm there.
Nice, man. No, that's good. Yeah, what's the just to give people a bit of context then before we dive into the Q&A, what's the journey been like since 2015? Was it something that you saw initial success in straight away? Because I know the whole landscape and the whole game has obviously changed so much, even since I've been in it in 2017, start of 2018, the way that you build offers, your creatives, the way that we run ads. So what's the journey been like since you got back into it seriously?
It has completely changed. We don't even need to go back to like 2015. I feel like even in the last 2 or 3 years, everything has changed. Back in like 2015, what we literally I say this all the time. Back in 2015, it was not an e-commerce game. It was not a marketing game. It was literally just take products from AliExpress, take the same pictures that they have on AliExpress, put them on a store, run some traffic, test 10 products. Out of these 10 products, you have 2 winners that are above like 5, 6 ROAS, and you just scale them and that's it. And you just do this over and over and over again until you run out of products. I pretty quickly got into fashion stuff back then. So I started fashion like 2 or 3 months after I got in. Got super successful, was like grinding it out, the whole fashion thing. I think with the fashion stuff alone, we did something like 35, 38 million, something around there. And then in 2019, I said, okay, fuck, I'm done with this fashion stuff because it was just getting harder and harder to run it. So it was just like constant issues with feedback score, payment processors getting shut down, profiles getting banned, ad accounts getting banned, business managers getting banned. It was like pain in the ass. And then I started to figure out, okay, let's try something more legit, something more long term, and build something more branded where the product quality is actually good. Yeah, since 2019, we basically are doing this. That's kind of like our way from 2019 until 2020. From 2019 to 2022, I would say we were nearly 100% Meta only. So we would run only on Meta. And from 2022 onwards to now, we totally changed it to be completely everywhere where you can advertise besides YouTube. YouTube is the only thing where we are not. And we are also on a few platforms that probably a few people don't even know about. Yeah, that's the main thing that has changed. I don't know how you see it, but the way how I see it is back then it was easier to get profitable. So it was easier to make 10, 20,000 profit a month or whatever. And it was more people that do this kind of numbers, but nobody was like killing it with like 100K days, 200K days or something like that. And right now it's harder to get started, harder to get profitable, but the people that get profitable, they scale way higher, way quicker, and to way bigger numbers.
Yeah, I'd agree. What would you say from what you're seeing? What would you say is the main difference that you're seeing right now between people who are able to hit those 100K plus days versus people who maybe get to 5, 10K per day, but are unable to scale past that point?
I think the main difference between the guys that are stuck at below 10K days are these are usually the guys that rip something from somebody, get it profitable, don't even know why it's profitable, then just scale it up, get kind of like lucky, but don't really understand why it's working. So they cannot replicate the success and they cannot replicate the ads that are working or the offers or whatever it is. And that's mainly why they are stuck.
Yeah, I get you. I'm gonna go to the chat just because I know that we'll be seeing each other in a few weeks, so we can talk. And I want to
Yeah.
make sure that these guys get as much value as you can. So, yeah, guys, if you put your questions in the chat, then we'll work down in chronological order. We'll start from top to bottom. Holy shit, someone's just put in an essay. And then
Yeah.
what the fuck? And then if you want to come up on stage, which personally I think would be better, then you can request to speak, and then I'll bring you up. We've got one person here. We'll bring up Ognile. Ognile's doing really well at the minute, Dom. I think he's doing about 500K per month.
Yo, what's up, Dom?
Hello.
Really nice to meet you, and I love your tweets. I learned a lot from that. It's really cool, really inspiring. Keep doing that.
Thank you.
I'll be quick. I have just a couple of questions. There would be maybe I can tell a story. Basically, what happened. I got a product which I got initially from TikTok Shop, and the ads that working for me right now really well is the type where I like very organic UGC, but not just like straight ripped, because straight ripped they just don't work for me for some reason. It's more of a like the mashups, like just editing them, mashing up together, connecting hooks with different UGC and style like that. And I've been recently like really heavy into like direct response style videos, like the AI voiceover stuff like that. And it's not working as good as, for example, just straight organic UGC videos. So right now I have a new packaging and I have a completely new product, and I have a couple of a couple of UGC with the content, and I wonder what would you do in this case? Like, would you focus more on like getting better at the kind of mini VSL type videos, or would you just like double down on the UGCs? If yes, then where would you get them for? Like, for example, is it Incense? Or like, what would you be like your thought process in this way to scale it really well, sustainably? Let's say like so that it can grow like for a couple of years.
Okay. I think the one thing that a lot of people get wrong, and I think this is also possibly due because of Twitter, because on Twitter everybody speaks only about creative, creative, creative. You hear it everywhere, like creative is the most important, creative is the most important. For us, creative is not even close to be the most important. It's not at all. So we focus way more on the offer part, and we focus way more on the on the offer in terms of conversion rate, but also on the offer in terms of like bringing the net margin up as high as possible. Because the higher your net margin is, the higher you can scale, and then it doesn't really matter if the creatives are like 10 out of 10 creatives or if it's just like an 8 out of 10 creative. So for us, I mean, I don't know your numbers, so I would need to see the numbers if the creatives are decent and if it's like an offer ratio. So it depends on your add to cart rates, conversion rates. That's the first thing that I would check. If you're using tutorials or kind of like longer form funnels, I would check the CTRs between the different steps and then figure out first if your problem is a creative issue or if it's more of like an offer or a margin issue. That's what I would figure out first. And then if you say like, okay, this is like a creative issue, then I would just take the style that is working the best and try to replicate this. The way how we shoot UGC is we shoot the UGC content ourselves. We don't even let UGC people shoot the UGC content. And the way how we are doing it is we have a creative strategist, and our creative strategist has a filming and an actor background, and she's based in Australia. And Australia is kind of like known for being an what is this called? An exchange student country. So we get her to speak with her friends at all the unis to try to find exchange students from different countries. Let's say we are advertising to, I don't know, Germany or whatever European country or US country or UK. So we find some native people from that countries as exchange students. Then we bring them to her or to a studio, and our creative director films directly, so she can like advise them on all different things. And she, during her filming, she already has kind of like the concept and the finished UGC creative in her mind. So the outcome is way better. And we are not producing UGCs in like a huge amounts of mass, but like 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 are kind of like scalable for us. And this is because we just film them by ourselves. We don't let the UGC guys do whatever they want and just give them like a framework or a script. We literally like tell them where to stand, or she does this. I don't even do this, but she tells them where to stand. She tells them how to hold the products, how to show the products. She tells them basically everything how to do it, and that's what works way better for us for the UGC stuff. I agree for us as well. All the AI stuff for us doesn't work at all. Like all this kind of like fake influencer AI shit with the talking person or something like that, it for some reason doesn't work at all.
Yeah, because like you can see a lot of people post this kind of videos, and a lot of brands actually pull on them. Like they make, maybe it's more of a market research type of the, like I'm not really sure. Maybe the market shifts more towards authentic type of content, like with real people, real videos and stuff like that. Like I'm not sure. But would you, like in this case, if you would make like your first 100K profit month, just in profit, and would you, like I have right now just video editor and VA, basically that's it. So would you go straight away and get in the creative strategist so that they can like kind of create a pipeline for the content, or like what would be their role, and like overall what would you, what would you have done like if you were starting the brand and it would be like your first 100K month profit?
I think if you do 100K month profit, it's way too late. Because the one thing that I have learned, and I have learned this the hard way, and I did it so often completely wrong, is you always, you want to hire from top to bottom. You want to hire the managers first, and the managers then hire their own employees within the team. So you hire first the creative strategist, and then let the creative strategist hire the creative, the graphic designer or the video editor or the copywriter or the script writer or everything that's below the department. Because if you don't do this, you are always the person who manages all the employees around this department, because yeah, somebody needs to manage them, and if they don't have a manager right from the start, then it's so much harder for you later on to find somebody and bring them into the team. So we always do this the other way around. We always even hire directly the managers and then let the managers hire the people below them. This is so much easier, and yeah, it's just so much more scalable as well.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. That's something I've made the same mistake, Dom, and I realized that way too late, and it's only really been within the last, I would say, 4 to 5 weeks that we've changed it. We got rid of most of our editors, and then the creative strategist that we have, he's now went and done all of the recruiting himself, and now we've hired 3 editors that he's went and recruited. And one thing that I found super helpful as well is make sure that the creative strategist and the editors are all from the same country as well. So I have all of mine based in South America, and it's just been an absolute game changer since. So yeah, I think, Nikita, if you're about to go through that process, then it's a really good bit of advice that Dom's just said, because as I said, it's something that I've just been through, and I'm already seeing the rewards.
Oh wow, bro, that that kind of switched my mind completely. It makes so much sense, but I was always thinking, from the another perspective where I just want to start with the people where I train them and make sure that they align with my vision in terms of like ads, and then I just hire a creative strategist. But no, it's all the way around. Crazy.
I mean, the thing that you just said completely wrong is you don't want to hire people that you need to train. This is the fucking wrong thing to do. You want to hire a creative strategist that is better at creatives than you are. You want to hire a creative strategist that has already all the ideas about how to structure the creative pipeline, which kind of tool to use, how to hire editors, where to find UGC people. Like, I have not taught that my creative strategist, like she has done this all by herself. And the easiest way how you can find such people is steal them away from agencies. With most of the creative strategists, or most of all the roles, they are super unhappy when they are working at agencies, because they get like confronted with 100 different clients, and nobody really likes that. And they are, most of the time, the agencies are like underpaying them. So I would just literally go to LinkedIn, look for all of the best creative agencies in your target country where your video editors are, and then I would just try to get on calls with them as kind of like, can I book a consulting call with you, whatever, just to get in touch with them, and then on the call try to pitch her if it's a good person to come over and work for your brand.
Damn, that's crazy actually. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Okay, then I will ask the last question for now. But yeah, thank you. That you already saved me a lot of time, to be honest, in terms of errors, I think. But like, how do you deal, let's say, with different side quests that come along your way, and that, let's say, they slow down your, as you say in Twitter, revenue generating work? For example, like if Shopify just closes your store and you need to figure out how to come back on the track as soon as possible, and then you figure out that it kind of slowed down you a lot. So how do you make sure that you don't deal with this kind of stuff, or if you have to deal like with different errors, then how do you make them, like, the decisions as quickly as possible in this way?
So, I mean, to be honest, we don't really have such issues that like Shopify shuts us down anymore, at least. The only time when we have this is like when we get a bunch of fake DMCA or stuff like that, but then you can do pretty much nothing against it besides rerouting your domain to another store. The only thing that I do in terms of like, I always try to be prepared for whatever can happen. So usually once a quarter, I analyze the whole business. I analyze every single part of it, and I try to figure out, okay, what can break and what doesn't have a backup. So do we have backup stores? Do we have backup payment processors? If this employee drops out, who is the one who takes over? Stuff like that. So you want to figure out every possible things that can break, so that you are, and then obviously also come up with a plan to like fix all the different issues. or have backups or backup employees or a process or whatever you find, so that you are kind of like prepared for when something bad happens, that you already know it before it happens and you already know how to solve it before it happens. For me, the problem with dealing with like side quests and stuff like that is way more because I just want to start new things all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, then okay, then in terms of you said payment processors and all this is exactly where like I'm kind of struggling right now because I'm very limited in that kind of choice, like creating new stores and new payment processors. Like I literally have no idea what works for me right now because I have like US entity and I'm located in Switzerland. And for me, like whenever I want to set up a payment processor relationship, they want to have a signer in US, something like that. Like for those kind of questions, do you have specific people that you can connect with, or I don't know, like whatever kind of advice do you have on that point?
Yeah, usually that's what I do. It's what when I cannot figure out something, I just have a few people that I know, okay, they are good in this field or they are good in another field, and then I would just reach out to them, or I try to find somebody that is like way above myself, like I'm doing right now when we are going into new traffic sources, and then I just pay somebody for his time and like book him for a day or whatever, even fly them out to where I am and then teach me what they know. But if it's just for a payment processor, if it's for a US entity, I mean, yes, you probably will need a signer, but I think you can find that. If you find somebody in the US that you just pay a few percentage or whatever the deal will be. But the good thing in the US is you have basically unlimited amounts of payment providers. It's way easier to find a payment provider compared to, for example, a Hong Kong company.
Mm. So you wouldn't recommend me like to create just a Hong Kong company and use the Shopify payments from on there and like instead just find a signer and they would have a much higher ROI, right? So
I
like
mean,
I'm
it depends on what the goal of the brand is. If the goal of the brand is an exit, I would not go with a Hong Kong company because it will be nearly impossible to sell. If the goal is just a bit of cash flow and you just want to have like a second payment processor as a backup, then probably I will do it and just set up a different company and then switch over once you run into issues. Yeah, that's how I would do it probably, yes.
Mhm. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, brother. Yeah, then I leave the stage and I really appreciate everything. I appreciate it. Let's give other people a try as well.
Cool. Bring up Glenn. Hello, Glenn.
No. Okay, sorry, I had myself on mute. How you doing?
All good, man. How's things?
Oh, yes.
Good, thank you. Good. Thanks for making the time, Dom, and Cam. Thanks for putting your mind. I really appreciate it. It's funny, Dom. You actually answered a lot of my questions just beforehand because a lot of my questions was kind of around hiring. Cam had said on the last call that we were on that the way that you've kind of ran this whole process is you actually never had done a lot of and I'm not saying you didn't do the work, but you basically hired people straight away, right? You kind of looked at your business. You thought, well, like, I'm not going to do the creative strategy. I'm not going to do the video editing. I'm not going to do the website building. I'm just going to hire everyone into that, right? And I'm kind of in a position, I'm a super time poor person. I've got a pretty full on sort of like business and full-time job. So like, I'm just like in a position, but I make good money. So I'm like, well, I can just hire people to kind of set this all up and I can just manage the process. But like when you were doing this, how did you know who to hire first? And I think it's creative strategist probably and video editor. That's probably the two main ones. But when you were doing this to start with, like how did you go about it? What was your process, if that makes sense?
Yeah, totally makes sense. I didn't start out the way how I do it now. Now it's completely different. I'm completely off. I don't do shit basically. I run my whole company based off two spreadsheets. That's everything that I look off, two spreadsheets and the Slack channel. That's it. But I
Right.
didn't start it like this. Like I was running my own media buying for like 5 years straight because I thought I'm the fucking best media buyer on planet and nobody can do it like me, which was obviously
Mm,
totally wrong. But yeah, I just like 2.5, 3 years ago, I started to understand I don't have a fucking business. I just have a high paid job. because I needed to take my fucking laptop everywhere. I needed to scale ads or do something all the time. So the second when I went on vacation, the business was down. So then I basically started to say, okay, fuck it, I will restart and restructure the whole company. Back then, I fired nearly my whole team and built everything from scratch. And the same people from 3 years ago are still with me to this day. Creative strategist is a little bit of a tricky hire because it's hard to find them, and it's hard to it's hard to find a good creative strategist that matches or gives you good results from the start, because most of the creative strategists, it takes a little bit of time to like get into the brand, get to figure out like what's working, which kind of angles are working, how the ads are structured and stuff like that. So for roles that are manager roles, or for roles that are harder to hire, what I usually like to do, I double the hiring. So I would hire one creative strategist. I would let the one creative strategist hire another video editor, and I would do this 2 times. So I would hire 2 video editors, and I would hire 2 creative strategists and let them hire each one video editor. And then I would let them kind of like compete against each other, see who provides the best results and the quickest results, and keep the one team that is doing better than the other one. But I would directly at the start communicate with them that this is kind of like a trial period of like 14 days or 30 days. They will get paid for this 30 days. Most of the time, it's like half of the normal salary. But then okay, this team is better and this person is better at finding the hire for himself.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks for that. It's interesting you talk about doubling the hires. I'm literally doing that right now for my other business, which is recruitment. I'm testing 2 different sources from South Africa, funnily enough. But yeah, that's a good shout. When you brought on so you're going to test these 2 creative strategies, because like where I'm at in sort of my journey is like I'm just testing products. So it's like I'm going to bring in a creative strategist to test a product, but then I don't know if the product is going to work or not, other than the fact that other people are scaling it, and that's my only point of reference to know that at least there's some product to market fit or product demand. But when you brought yours on, were you bringing them into an already established brand, or were you bringing them into like, right, your job is we're going to be testing 5 products this week or 5 products this month, and you need to come up with scripts for that and creatives, and you need to work with your editor, and you're kind of assessing them on that, if that question makes sense?
Yeah, totally. The first creative strategist I brought on to an already existing brand. I think back then the brand was doing somewhere between like 300 and 400,000 a month. When we brought the creative strategist on, and later on, I think 1 year or 1.5 years later, we started a new brand, and we started it with a new creative strategist right away. So she had to like get to adapt and test a bunch of products to figure out what's working what's working or what's not working. I find the creative strategists that go through this kind of like product testing phase are usually the better one than if you bring them on directly to an existing brand. The reason for that is because they are usually faster and they can adapt quicker. Because, I don't know, they create maybe 5 scripts today for 5 different products, and then 2 days later you figure out, okay, one product is doing better, and then they need to be like quickly shifting all their attention to the one product that's doing better. And this will help you later when you have like an established brand, and the creative strategist then shifts her attention between different traffic sources, because every traffic source runs different style of creatives, and there you also need this kind of like flexibility in her and like adaptation. So yeah, I think I would still hire if your budget allows to hire a creative strategist, because what I would not do is I would not hire a creative strategist just to hire a creative strategist and then hire somebody cheap. I would not do this.
Well, my next question was like, what do you think is average monthly salary for a good creative strategist? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to tell me what you're paying them, but if you give me a ballpark, I'm just curious. In your experience,
so we paid them between 3,500 and 4,000 a month, and then they have like a small bonus if their team is doing good. So at the end, it will be around like 5,000 what they get monthly.
Yeah,
US dollars.
I'm the exact same. I'm about 4.5k dollars.
Yeah. I made the experience that if you try to hire some Filipino guys or somebody else that is like at the $2,000 range, usually they are shit.
Yeah, but is your Dom,
Yeah, fair enough.
is your creative strategist completely in-house? Or are they also
Uh,
strategy for other brands?
no, it's only for us.
Okay, cool. Yeah, see, my one's not fully in-house, and we pay him 4.5K per month, which is probably a bit more on the expensive side. But I would say how we benefit from that is we have obviously oversight into other ad accounts and to what's working as well for them because he's working for a few brands. A lot of you guys will know them as well. I'm not going to leak them now, but yeah, that's probably one benefit. But I think I probably do need to bring them in-house.
I think for a creative strategist, it also depends a lot on the brand because we have like for example one brand that is nearly exclusively running on image ads, and it's so easy to be a creative strategist for image ads compared to if you need to be a creative strategist and run some long form VSLs for a supplement brand or something like that. So it really depends on like which kind of products you are testing, which kind of products you are trying to get into, how qualified the person needs to be.
Yeah, I've also noticed a shift in the type of content that's working for us anyway within the last couple of months, I would say in 2025, because we have the creative strategist who's obviously doing like all of our longer form ads. We have sort of like ads that are 30 seconds all the way up to about 45 minutes long, more of the in-feed VSLs that we run. But the craziest thing is that the content also have a full-time in-house creator who is like the face of one of the brands, and she'll create organic content for us on TikTok and IG, and actually just running the organic content that she's making is outperforming all of the content pretty much that we're putting way more effort into, which yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass because we're obviously putting more money and resources into the other content, but it's just what's working at the end of the day for us.
I think that's exactly why it's not working. It's because you put so much effort into it to make it like perfect and make it like as convincing and as good as possible, and losing this kind of like organic feeling from what UGC used to be.
Yeah, because we've spoken about this on a few calls, or I've spoken about this throughout all of last year. We were pretty much just scaling with AI content. We were running AI voiceover ads, and we were also towards the end of the year starting to run a lot of AI avatars using ArcAds, and that was crushing.
Mhm.
But it almost feels like as soon as we've went into 2025, that content now just gets no spend within the campaigns, and it's all of the raw content that's working. Even just that sit down content, talking to the camera, one of our winning ads is just someone speaking to the camera, no cuts, 60 seconds in their bathroom with the product in their hand. And it's taking pretty much most of the spend right now. So I've definitely seen a shift in going back to traditional UGC.
Funny, this Arc Ads avatar style has never worked for a single product for us. Never. I don't know why, but it's never worked. AI voiceovers, we still do it, and it's still performing decent. But the Arc Ads avatar thing has for us never worked.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it would be cool to give people a bit of insight, and also I'm interested as well. What does the actual org chart look like in the company? Because I know last time we were with each other, that's one thing that I remember you saying that you really don't do shit. And I can imagine that's almost became even more of a thing now. So what does that actually look like from like an org chart perspective? Who's actually in the company running things and how's it structured?
To be honest, it's like super simple. So right now we are doing somewhere between 2.5 and 4 million in revenue a month, and we have 12 people in house. We use a bunch of freelancers on the side, which are usually kind of like developers or something basic or simple. But other than that, our creative team is the biggest. Every creative team for every brand for us has an own creative team. Just the smaller brands gets run by or so one creative team can have two smaller brands as well. Yeah, and the creative team is basically just a creative strategist. Below the creative strategist is the video editor and the graphic designer. Sometimes, depending on the product, we also have 3D motion designers to come up with like nice 3D motions. We have an overall copywriter that does copywriting for everything that we need in the whole company. I would also say he's kind of like in the creative team because the creative strategist manages him. My media buyer that I kind of like hand-picked and hand-trained for 1 year is taking over the whole media spending, the whole offer creation, the whole it's kind of like media buying, CMO, and also CEO at the same time because he also speaks with the factories, he also speaks with the supply chain, he takes care of everything. My girlfriend runs the whole support department, so we have like 4 customer support people right now. She runs the whole department there, and yeah, we have a junior media buyer, and that's pretty much it. We don't have any fancy stuff outside of that.
So what Dom's just saying is he basically just chills having cigars and shisha whilst
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, it's funny enough. That's actually really true. Yeah, like I literally like last year from last year I think from April until August I probably have worked 2 hours or so in total in the whole month, because everything was running smooth. The team was scaling. The team was pretty much on its own. The only thing that I really do is high level strategy when I figure out okay the team is kind of like stuck for a few days or a few weeks in a row, or what I do as well is I come up with like new product or new brand ideas. We don't have anybody for that because I feel like that needs to be me because I have all the experience in the market. So I know what could work, I know what could not work, I know what is worth for testing. So if we want to start something new, then I'm kind of like the person who decides to do it, and then the team builds everything, tests everything, gets me back the results, and I tell them, okay, we keep on going on with that, or we just drop it again.
What does the day in the life look like then for you? And a second part question to that is what's the overall goal with what you're doing at the minute? What you're actually working towards?
So right now, to be honest, I'm super involved again, because we started to spend a lot more outside on Facebook, and I just like numbers and I just like media buying. So every time when we start on a new channel or when we start on somewhere new, then it's me who figures out the channel. It's me who figures out how to run it. Then I set up a process. I train my media buyer CEO guy, and from then on he takes over, and I'm just getting back to the data. But before that, to be honest, it was a bunch of like, I cannot even explain it. It was looking around for opportunities, like business opportunities outside of ecom. It was not even like product research. It was like completely outside of ecom.
Yeah, I remember even 2 years ago when we were in Dubai, you were saying that you were looking into, or you were doing like affiliate. Maybe you were looking into like
Yeah,
all and stuff back then.
yeah, we still do this. We still run lead gen as well on the side. A little bit of pay per call right now, more pay per call than lead gen. Yeah, I built a small agency, scaled it, and exited in like 6 months. This was also very funny. This was, I think, last year. Yeah, beginning of last year. What else did we do? Yeah, I wanted to go into the telehealth business or in the telehealth space. Kind of like something what HIMS is doing, HIMS and HERS.
Yeah.
So I'm right now speaking a lot with like lawyers to get contracts set up and doctors and all that shit. I'm just trying to start some new things all the fucking time because I feel like ecom, once you figure it out, it's the same things over and over and over again. So it kind of bores me.
Yeah, yeah. Would you say that your main focus now is building something outside of ecom? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Interesting, interesting.
I mean, the main focus right now, I would say, is more traffic channel diversification for the ecom. And the second, when I've figured out all the other platforms and I've given it over to my media buyer, then I'm like out again and build something completely new. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Glenn, did you have any other questions, mate?
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, and maybe this is a little bit too granular, but I was just curious, like, how your team structured their kind of like Monday to Friday. It's like, okay, Monday we're getting ads creatives made. Tuesday we're doing this. Wednesday we're doing this. Is there like a structure to how you set that stuff up, or is it just super random depending on what's going on?
No, there's a structure obviously behind it. So my media buying team, or my media buyer, and my creative strategists, they meet on Sundays and Wednesdays. On Sundays, they are meeting to discuss what was working in the previous week and what we are going to produce for the next week. On Wednesdays, they are meeting again with the first results and decide if we keep to do the same stuff for the whole week, or if we are pivoting during the week and like another offer works better now, so we are producing more of that. And then basically on Sunday, the creative strategist plans out the whole week. We use ClickUp for our creative pipeline, and then everything is basically automated from there on. And the rest, I have no idea when they are working. I have no idea how they are working. As long as they meet their KPIs of like how many creatives they should do a day, or hit their numbers in like winning creatives, I don't care when they work. If it's like night, day, I don't care. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Go
Yeah,
on.
go on, Cam.
No, go.
I was just leading on that. You mentioned that as long as they hit their numbers, what sort of metrics are you measuring these guys on, if I can ask?
It depends on who. Is it the creative teams?
Yeah.
We measure them on creative output, and also on the ratio between output and scaled concepts, not creatives. We always speak over concepts. So one concept could be the same kind of like creative, but in two different variations or three different variations. And yeah, we measure them on the output. So the output must be obviously every week hit, but then also over like a longer period. So over like 2 or 3 weeks, we measure them over their hit ratio, we call it, which is basically just like how much percentage of their creatives that they have done are hitting, and is there a huge difference between one graphic designer and another graphic designer.
Thanks, mate. I'm finished. Thanks very much for your time. I really appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Thank you. Right, let me bring up Kanar because he's been waiting for quite a bit of time. Glenn, you can just dip off the stage, bro.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Perfect. Thank you guys for getting me on. So I'm pretty much just like jump straight into my questions, bro. Like I have 2 questions, pretty quick ones. So the first question is, I saw you a lot talking about like for finding winning products, like looking for what is selling right now and like looking what problem it does solve, and then like finding new products that solve like the same problem for that audience. And my question was like, for that kind of strategy, I found out that it's pretty hard to get like it can be easy to find these products, like new ones, but it gets tricky like finding the content for it and like doing the ad and creatives. So I know you pretty much like I don't think you test much products right now, but for that situation, would you like go straight into like custom ads and like hire UGC creators and like send them the product over and shit, or would you like still try to find videos on the internet and just scratch what you can scratch, if that makes sense?
Yes, makes sense. I mean, this strategy is kind of like what I would only use if I would be a little bit more advanced, because I feel like it's so hard when you have no team behind it to do that. But I feel like this is the best strategy. We hit our best winners with this kind of strategy. Just figure out why people are buying this and try to come up with something new, unique that solves the same issue or gets people to buy for the same reasons. Yeah, it has changed a little bit on how we are testing this, because back in the days, like last year or 2 years ago, we would just try to figure out content somewhere. We also have a video team in the Philippines, so we would just send it directly to the Philippines video team, and they would create some basic quick content for us, and then we would test it. But right now it has shifted a little bit, because right now we don't test any new products on Facebook anymore. We test new products directly on native ads, and on native ads we only need images and then an advertorial basically, and then we are good to go for a test. And then once we figured out, okay, it's working and scaling on native ads, only then we bring it over to Facebook.
Damn, okay. So what you mean exactly with native ads?
Taboola, Outbrain, MGID, Ref Content.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
But this, I would not look into this if you're kind of like beginner or didn't have like a first success, because it's super hard to figure these platforms out. But once you figure it out and once you spend the time on it, they are fucking crushing. They are. I mean, we are right now spending way more money on these platforms than on Facebook.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like the problem for me, bro, is like I can't really say that I'm that much advanced, but I'm not a beginner too. Like I did some money with ecom to this day, and my biggest problem is always like when trying to find a new product to like either go the route of finding something that sells like a shit ton right now and just trying my best to do better, like better creatives and shit or better offer, or just trying to find like a complete untapped product that like almost nobody sells yet. And like I'm always in those in between. And yeah, like do you have an advice on that? On what would the best strategy be?
I feel like there is no such thing as like an untapped product. Like every product that you can imagine is out there already. The only, yeah, you could be the first one to like scale it to big numbers or something like that, but you will not find a product that nobody has ever seen before. And people are scaling saturated products or whatever what you want to call it every single day, and we do this too. So I would not even worry too much about it. I would find a product that is in like a big enough niche that you can scale it, in like a big enough country that you can scale it, so that it makes sense to work a little bit on the product and to figure out the funnel and the creatives. And then I would just take it, test it, and go from there. And then once you figure it out and once something is working, then I would instantly go and like try to improve the product or try to like switch to a product that is like newer or like a new version or whatever. So I would not keep selling the same shit product that everybody sells forever, because one of the reasons or one of the things that we are doing as well, so we use a similar strategy. So we have a lot of strategies, but one of our strategies is also we just sell what everybody is selling right now, just see if it's working, try to scale it if it's scaling, and if it's consistent, then we kind of like remodel the product, change the whole design of the product, but it so that it still feels like the original product, but it looks different. And what we then do is we get patents on the product, like design patents on how the product looks like in China and also in Europe or in the US. And then then instantly we give it to our lawyer, and the second somebody rips us off, we sue them.
Yeah, crazy. Damn.
And when you do this, then you basically have the whole product for yourself, because people cannot rip you off in China, and they cannot rip you off in like the country where you are selling to, because you have the patents everywhere. Plus it makes a shit ton of money for doing nothing, just getting ripped off from people, and your lawyer sends a few letters and you get 5K, 10K for doing nothing. Yeah, so we do this.
Damn, crazy. Okay, so my last question would be, bro, for like a guy like me, like I can imagine that many people in this Discord also are like maybe in the same position as I am, like not at the beginning stage, but like we made some money, but like not the breakthrough yet. For example, like I saw the 2-3K days, but like my ultimate goal for like right now is 10K days, but I didn't achieve it yet. So like for guys like me, what would you say is like the best niches, like the best niches for finding products, like, or what would you say should I stay away from?
Right now, to be honest, I would, especially if I would be a beginner, I would stay away from everything that is super complicated. Everything that like right now is in the health space, for example, on Meta, I would stay away from it. Just because you never know if you get tagged with this new health policy bullshit. I would try to find just something that is easy to sell and in a big enough market. So I would not go the way as a beginner to directly work with advertorials and funnels and try to push AOV as high as possible or whatever, because this there are way too many moving parts, and you don't know where to focus on, and you don't know on which metrics you should be working. So for a beginner, it should be some kind of product that you test 10 creatives and it's like a straight winner right away. So I would try to do a little bit more volume testing, like 2, 3 products a week, instead of trying to make one product work for a long time. Because as a beginner, you just don't know why the product actually is not working right now.
Okay, makes sense.
But
Thank
the
you.
other thing in your situation, what I would do is I would go back to the product that you made 2 to 3K with, and I would try to figure out why it's not selling anymore, and would try to make it work again, because it was selling, so there is potential. You
Yeah, so
just
the
need
problem with
to.
that product right now is like that's a Germany product. I'm only selling to Germany right now, and like it kind of hit a scale wall. Like I can't scale past 2, 3K. So that's what me made think that like I have to find something to run in the US because it's a bigger market. So like for months I'm trying to find something to run in the US, but like it didn't work pretty
I
well yet.
can.
So, yeah,
So
that's the
I can tell you Germany is a market that is way more scalable than most of the people think. I didn't know that as well, but I figured this out on one of our own brands. We had one brand that we are selling now for like 2.5 years. It's just one single product, and we did 32 million in Germany only with one single product. So there is enough scale in Germany, 100%.
okay. Yeah,
You just
great.
need to figure out why it's not working. I mean, there can be an issue with like the audience that you are targeting. Maybe all of your creatives are speaking to the same kind of audience. At this kind of stage, I would not even look into like diversifying the traffic because it's just too low for Germany. I would more look into creative diversification and try to speak to different people within your audience. Maybe even
Makes
try different landing pages, maybe try different offers. I tell you, in Germany, offers are huge. In Germany, if you like play around with the offer, you can take. I just a couple of days ago spoke with a guy. He was running on a 1% conversion rate. I gave him a few offers that he should test. He is now at like 4 or something like that and has a higher net margin. And it was only the offer. Everything was the same. The ads were the same. The funnel were the same. The product page were the same. The only thing that changed is the offer.
Without giving away what the actual offer was, like what was the change, like without giving away the product or anything to it?
For him, it was reducing the price reducing the price by 10 euros and making it what do you call it in English? Making it irresistible to only buy one because the second one is so cheaper. So it would be, for example, one product, so one piece would be 59 and get 2 pieces for 69. But the second one only costs you 50 cents and you include it in the shipping, so you have like 10 euros more profit. And for them, it sounds like a crazy huge offer, especially when you pair it with a lot of FOMO and a lot of urgency, and especially when you do this with a FOMO that is based on a specific day when people don't know when this day is that the offer runs out. Because what a lot of people are doing is kind of like this offer ends at midnight, offer ends at the end of the day, blah, blah, blah. This is kind of stupid because most of the customers are already aware of this and they know that. So what we, for example, do is we come up with a random event and put the offer to the random event. For example, we would do something like our brand's anniversary sale, our brand's 4-year anniversary sale, and then put the urgency behind it with only 12 pieces left or whatever, because then they don't know how long the sale actually runs. So the urgency is even higher. And then they see also, oh, only a few items in stock. And then the urgency is even higher. And yeah, when then the offer is good as well in terms of like the numbers, then it's like a fucking no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, bro. Thanks for your answers and thanks for getting me on, Cam.
Thank you, bro. Have a good night. Dom, do you still do that strategy that you were talking about where you basically just send traffic to a competitor's website or landing page just to see what the initial soft metrics look like?
We did this with product testing, yes, but we stopped it because we don't just test so many products anymore. Because right now what we are doing is we are not testing random products. We're only testing products within our niche to like expand our product range. And the way how we are doing this then is we just send it to our homepage. So we set up, let's say, 10 different products in like 10 different ad sets, and each ad set has like 3, 4 different creatives. And then we just run all the traffic to our homepage without us even having the product on the website. And then just look at the soft metrics, the ones that have the best soft metrics. We just set them up on a product page and then test them really. Yeah.
Right, let me bring up Ethan. How many brands do you have now, Dom? How many? You said you've got a team of 11. How many brands are they working on?
So we are right now running 3 brands, and in total that's 7 stores, and so 3 physical brands and 1 digital brand, because we also have another brand that is only selling fucking ebooks.
Ah, fuck yeah! I remember you telling me about that actually.
Yeah, we still do that. It's still crushing.
Yeah,
It's
bro, you
still
told
doing
me about that
amazing.
about a year ago, I think. So that must.
Yeah, I know.
Is it still within
Yeah,
the market?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's still like printing. It's hard in Europe because when you're selling ebooks in any country, the audience is by default super small because you are going super niche. And when you then go to Europe and, for example, you say you sell, I don't know, some kids book or whatever, automatically the audience is like super small. But we have scaled this now across multiple European countries, and it's working nearly everywhere. Yeah, we still do that.
What traffic source are you using? Are you running all of them?
Facebook and native.
Damn. Yo,
Yeah,
Ethan.
it works pretty good on native, and it's like super, 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 super simple ads.
Damn.
Hi, what's up?
Yo, how's it going?
I've got, I don't know how much you remember about my brand, Cam, but I basically bought this brand with for very cheap off a friend that does e-com, and it did over 1 million in revenue like last year. So from 2023 to 2024, good net margins, and he kind of gave it to me as it was dying. And earlier this year, like end of December and start of January, I did quite a lot of revenue just on cost caps. I was doing like 10k days for a few days. And then mid-January, I switched it to lowest cost, and now it's kind of died. Like the ROAS just tanked, and I don't really know what happened. But his theory was that he did about 400, and the guy who owned it before did about 450k spend on the ad account, just purely on cost caps and bid caps. And he said that he thinks the whole ad account and pixels kind of gone lazy targeting middle of the funnel customers, because the only 2 ads that are spending are ones with really a lot of social proof, and it's literally 2 ads that are generating all the sales. I've tested new creatives and lowest cost, but I don't really know how to fix it. So what do I do? Is a new ad account, have you ever experienced this issue before? Because the product and offer and everything is proven. The TAM is very big, but I don't really know what else to do.
I think it's probably similar to the advice that Dom just gave Kaner, which is if he did 1 million last year, is that in one market or is that in multiple markets? Because you might have just got to a point where either your frequency is too high in your current ad account and you need to start expanding out into new avatars, new angles within your ads, diversify the type of ad content that you're running as well, be split testing new offers. Most of the time it's just a case of you've been doing the same thing for too long, and if you keep on doing the same thing and don't change it, then of course things are going to end up hitting fatigue. So what have you done in regards to branching out into different avatars, etc.? And what market are you in?
I'm in every market. So the biggest market is US. Most of the sales came from there, but the others are top 4 and the UK as well. I've just started the UK, but I don't really want to hit the VAT threshold for UK because that messes like the ROAS and everything up. Will break even ROAS.
Yeah.
But I've tested different creatives. Like I'm very good at creatives and I can make a lot of them. But the cost caps, like I've added them to the same cost cap campaign, and they just don't get any spend compared to the other these like ads with loads of social proof. They've got like over 4,000 comments, and they're not actually very good ads. They just are the only ones that are really profitable.
Yeah, I mean, what you can do is, because I've been in a similar situation before, where if you're launching new ads within a CBO that has, or within the same campaign that has ads with 4,000 plus comments, often you can even put a minimum spend on, and they won't break past that minimum spend. So if I'm in that situation, what I have done in the past is actually force spend and force engagement onto the new creatives, obviously through an ABO. That's why I like testing in an ABO. So you're almost forcing engagement onto the ads. And then once you've ran that in an ABO and had a good amount of spend through it, and you've got some good engagement on the ad, pull the post ID out. So use the same post ID with the new engagement on, and then run it within your scaling campaign. But I don't think that's your main issue. I think the main issue will just be probably fatigue in what you're already doing, because you say that your ads are good. You can still have good ads, but if the ads are still speaking to the same avatar that is potentially seeing a bit of fatigue, then it doesn't really matter if the ads are good or whether they're shit. You'll still struggle to convert. One of the issues that I had was in a smaller market, I was starting to see too high a frequency on my ads and was struggling to scale. So then what we actually started doing was use UGC creators of different ethnicity. So we started this in the beauty space, and we actually started tapping into the Asian market. So getting all of our UGC creators, making sure that they were Asian and really tapping into that Asian TAM. And then that's something that really, I would say, overnight unlocked a new level of scale for us. So sometimes it just comes down to thinking outside of the box and actually really trying to communicate not just to everyone within your ads, but someone very, very specific. I don't know if you've got anything to add on to that, Dom.
Yeah, you're 100% right. The only thing that I would add to is also because you said, yeah, the offer is working and the offer is like proven, it makes a huge. So we had the same in Germany when we were selling this one product, or when we were scaling this one product to like 32 million. We only were able to achieve this because we would always, like, probably every 1 or 2 months come up with a new offer, and the new offer has a totally different pricing. And the only reason why we do this is because every different pricing that you do, it gives Facebook a different audience or a different possible audience to target. Because somebody who, if you would try to sell a $29 product, it's a way different audience that Facebook will target than if you want to try to sell a $69 product. So I would play around a lot with the prices, and also, like Cam said, like try to use different actors with like different nationalities or something like that, just to tap into different audiences. If you say the US is the biggest, then 1 million is 100% not like depleted the whole market. I think it's just that everything that you're doing is too similar, and that's why Facebook is just targeting over and over and over the same people.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. So just split test offers and try hit new customer pools by changing the demographic in the ads or pricing offers and etc.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
No worries, all good. Take care. All right, let me bring up Ricky in a second.
Hey,
Yo,
how you
yo.
doing?
Yeah, doing good, man. Doing good. Hope you're well.
Yeah. So I'll just get straight into it. Hey Dom, so I just want to ask you a quick question because I think this is going to be quite helpful to a lot of other people in a similar situation as me, like Kanner said before. If you were starting again from scratch and you just only have like a couple grand, so nothing too much, not a lot of capital like you have now, and you needed to find a winning product as soon as possible, something that's low barrier to entry, so no paying for UGC, no MOQ ordering, none of that custom stuff. How would you approach that step by step? So how exactly, what would be going on in your mind in terms of the framework, being the product research, what tools,
Like
the metrics, how many active
what
ads? Sorry, what was that?
what do you give me a number of like what do you mean with like low budget or low amount?
Um, let's just say you
Like
had like 8,000 USD, something like that.
it's not even that bad. I mean,
But
there are two
but
ways I think you yeah.
so I was just gonna say, but putting the perspective of you as a someone with lesser experience, because obviously as you now, like you could just hire someone to do everything because you already have all the experience.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think the easiest thing, I wanted to actually post something about this today on Twitter, because I've done this last year for a friend of mine. The really like easiest thing that you can do when you have like zero skills and you have like zero ideas what's going on and you just want to make your first few sales on ecom, I think the easiest is get a fucking spy tool, look for products that are right now scaled by multiple people to like high numbers in the ads library. So let's say you find a product that gets scaled to I don't know 4, 5, 6 brands with like 300 to 500 active ads in the ads library, then just like set up a store with the same product that all of them are selling, clone their completely store design, clone everything, make the price a little bit cheaper, and run Google ads to similar search terms that people could search after they have seen the ads from somebody else.
So when you say
That's
that,
what, yeah.
yeah, that's kind of like a little. I'll explore that idea real quick though. So when you say that you copy everything they're doing and run it through Google Ads, I've never used Google Ads before, but usually there's like a video ad on Facebook. So how would that translate over to Google if you're saying copying there?
No, it's not like that. I mean, with copying them, I mean only copying like the product page because you're a beginner, you have no idea how a product page should look like. So just take their proven template. That's it. What you're doing is, let's say I did this for my friend with this fake Game Boy thing that was around there last year or like 2 years ago. And we found, or this Game Stick or whatever it was called, and we just found a few brands that were scaling this in one country. Then we went and cloned the whole website, made the product 10 euros cheaper on our website, and then run search campaigns with just search on Google for like Game Stick or different variations of search terms that people would search after they have seen the competitors' ads. Because there is always a percentage of people that like come from Facebook, see some ads from somebody, and then they drop down to Google, do some research there, and once you are like targeting the right search terms, then they will just buy from you because you have cheaper price and your store looks the same. So they will not even recognize that you're a different brand. So it's like super simple. You don't even need any skills. You will not be able to scale this to huge numbers, but we have done some like 400 to like 1,000 euros a day in profit with that.
Oh, okay, that's pretty interesting to know. I have to check that out later. But if we just stuck to Facebook, just to Meta, if you had to start from scratch, and not a complete novice beginner, like you've already did some numbers before. What would your thought process be if you just had to start from scratch, like you yourself alone, just through the whole like process of product research to making the creatives and the metrics you're looking for?
I would find some products that you can scale over image ads because as a beginner I would not even waste my time with trying to figure out UGC or trying to figure out videos. So I would stick with niches that would be able to sell with images only, stuff like home decor or something like that, because that's way easier to make it work with image ads and with just a good offer, and you don't need any UGC or videos or something.
And in terms of product research, what sort of different platforms are you using to find the products right now? I don't know if you're still in like the trenches, sort of.
I
for
mean,
these
to
products?
to be honest, we don't use. I mean, you can use product research tools or spy tools, or like Afterlip, for example, is one that we are using, or any other because they are all the same. The the thing that I'm preaching always is it's not about the spy tool that you're using or the products that you're finding. It's more the product that you're seeing and the thought process in your mind, like, okay, you see this product and then you instantly think about, okay, I could put this angle on it, or I could this offer better, or I could something different. So we have scaled products that I have seen at fucking IKEA. And I thought, okay, yeah, that's an interesting product. Let me go and see if we can find a similar product like this and try to scale it. And we hit a winner like this. So it's really not about where you look. You can look everywhere. You can look on Amazon bestsellers. You can look on the spy tools. You can just look on the ads library. You can look on TikTok Shop. You can look on Pinterest or wherever. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And for the creatives, because I kind of just want to like stick it to videos, but I mean, we can talk about images as well. For the creatives, I'm assuming if you were starting from the beginning, you would rip them, right?
Yeah.
Is there like a certain format that you would be doing? Would you be basing it purely off of your competitors, these creatives? Was there like a certain ratio you do from competitors to your own sort of formulas? I don't know if that makes
No,
sense.
the way that I would do it, if it's only videos or it's only images, I would just find different images with different videos, different creatives, basically, with different concepts. And then I would test like 3 or 4 different concepts per product. So, for example, one concept could be UGC style, another concept could be testimonial style, only like talking head speaking. Another concept could be B-rolls, and another concept could be images. And then you just test all of the 3 concepts. In each concept, find 2 or 3 different creatives, and then just see if there is any concept that is doing better or any concept that is working at all with the product when it's 100% ripped just from like different competitors, and then go from there. And then basically build and iterate on the best concept that is working.
Okay, so just spam like a bunch of different variety of concepts and see whatever sticks and go from there.
Yeah, but do it
Um,
like in a structured way, not try
yeah,
to just put a lot of shit
random,
at the
yeah.
wall and then try to see what sticks. It's very important to like keep like a structured way that you know, okay, which one is which and what
Mm.
you can scale later.
So just one last question because I know other people want to get on. Is there any sites, resources, anything that's like not really known mainstream wise? Like obviously everybody knows about Kalo Data or Tickstar or something, or I don't know, some sort of AI tool. Is there any other resource that you guys have been using or have success with? Some sort of resource that nobody knows about, not much people know about?
Not really in terms of tools. I think what a lot of people are not doing is they are not looking enough at other places outside of Facebook and TikTok. So we do a lot of our product research or a lot of our advertorial research on, for example, ClickBank offers or on native ads advertorials, because these are the guys that are the best with this kind of stuff. So we take all the information from there, break it down, try to understand why it's doing so well there, and then bring it to Facebook, for example, because they are just like the best at this, and we just try to learn from them. That's the only thing that would come to my mind right now, because we don't use any fancy stuff. Our whole company runs on a Google Drive, a Slack, ClickUp, um, yeah, and that's it. We don't have anything else. Yeah, and 11 Labs for voiceovers, but that's it. We don't use any Notion or whatever people are using, or Discords or something. I feel like it's just a bunch of stuff that makes everything more complicated, and then a bunch of stuff that like wastes time. So we just don't do it. I just want to be as efficient as possible within the teams and within the company. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man. You provide a lot of value just now.
Thank you.
Cool. A few people waiting to get up. Let's bring up Yang. Ribbon, I'll bring you up next. Hey, man. Hello? All right, we'll bring up Ruben.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Ruben. How's it going?
Not bad, not bad. Right, I'll answer my questions. Tom, you've probably answered like a variation of them, but maybe you caught something since answering them. So, first one is, what would you do to make 50k profit over the next 90 days with your current skill set? It's my
With
mic
my
shit.
current skill set,
Bro, your mic is cooked.
Okay.
yeah, really.
Bro's under the
Hang on.
That's
right now. I think he said, yeah, Ruben, correct me if I'm wrong, but with your current skill set, Dom, what would you do if you were, like, I guess, starting a new business and you wanted to make 50k a month in profit? Was that it, Ruben? To make 50k profit over the next 90 days with your current skill set, but I assume you wouldn't have any of your current businesses running, but you still have all of the skills and knowledge that you have now.
It's an interesting question. I mean, it also
Is
depends
that
on.
better, by the way?
Yeah.
That's way better.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
All
do I have money or do I start with zero?
Okay, yeah, so I'll literally give you my scenario. So I'm looking to quit my job. The end of May is the goal, and I'll do anything at this point to do it. And I'm making about 3.5k to 4k at each month that I have to spend. So I guess what would you do with that amount to do that within ecom? Those numbers.
And you have no team, you have nothing, you just have yourself.
Just myself, yeah.
You're based in the UK?
Based in the UK, yeah.
To be honest, even if it sounds stupid, but I would try to get into TikTok affiliate and try to be a TikTok affiliate and try to build 15 to 20k and then get into paid ads. Because when you only have like 4k, I personally feel like I would not feel comfortable getting into paid ads with only fucking 4k. So I would
Okay.
try to figure something out like organic. There are a bunch of guys that are doing super good with like organic TikTok and ebooks and faceless TikTok and selling ebooks and stuff like that. Or just become like a TikTok affiliate with like faceless TikTok affiliate or something like that, just to make a little bit more cash. I would try to use the first 30 days or something like that to build up cash, and then get into ecom, because there is nothing worse that can happen than you getting into ecom, you hitting a winner, you trying to scale it up, and then you are dry on cash flow and you cannot scale anymore because you need to pay the supplier or you need to pay the ads or whatever, and you run out of money. So that's, I feel like, the worst thing. So I would not get into ecom if I would not have like 10k or so.
Okay. Well, that I should probably say it's 4k. Like I have access to 4k every month because I'm currently working a job, and that's pounds. So it's like $5k every single month that I get paid. So would you still do the same thing?
Yeah, I would still do the same thing because you can, let's just imagine you're testing a few products, you hit your first winner, you try to scale it up, and then PayPal freezes your money for like 21 days and you need to fulfill the orders. Probably the 5k will not even be enough to fulfill all the orders.
Yeah, I've already have
So-
PayPal holds. Don't worry. I used to do
Yeah.
fashion. I used to do
Oh,
the
yeah.
Anua fashion method. So I made a decent amount of money, and then it all disappeared from holds and returns.
I mean, I would
But
probably
if you were
to
to do
find
ecom,
if I would probably try to find some super untapped markets that like nobody's selling to, and try to keep it on a low scale there and try to make it work there. For example, an example country like this would be Israel. Israel right now, I know a bunch of guys started to crush, like doing like 20, 30k profit days. And CPMs are super cheap and you only need credit cards. This would be probably what I would try to do. Another country that is like not so untapped, but good because they have a lot of spending power is Switzerland. I would just try to do either a country that is like untapped or a country that has like a super high spending power, but still a relatively cheap CPM, because it's easier to be profitable there. I would not go into EU or not into USA or UK or any of the big countries, because I feel like it would be too hard to make it work.
Okay. And you wouldn't, again, change your answer, like if you had access to credit cards and stuff like that, so cash flow was a little bit better?
I personally would not feel good about it. Even if I have access to credit cards, I still need to repay that shit. And I mean, I have seen it. So like a friend of mine, they scaled, or they were not starting out, they were running for like a year, had decent success, and then they hit like a super winner and they scaled to 2 million in like 2 weeks. After that, their payment provider was holding all their money, and they were not able to repay all the fucking VAT that they need to repay. So they got into trouble with the fucking government because they could not repay the VAT of all the revenue that they generated because the payment provider was holding all the money. So this was fucking spiral that went for 2 years with them. So I would not risk anything like that, or just keep it super low scale and keep it super slow.
It's also a
Okay,
bit retarded.
cool.
It's a bit retarded scaling to 2 mil in 2 weeks. No shit, you're gonna get a payment hold.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, I've seen it live. This was insane. This was literally insane.
How much
I
were they
mean,
spending?
it was not that much. It was running on a fucking 10x ROAS.
What the fuck? On Facebook?
Sheesh.
No, it was on TikTok.
Oh,
So what happened with them is they were selling a product which has like decent success, I would say. So like 100K revenue a month, something like that. And then the biggest German TV channel picked up the product and used it kind of like in their show as a test. Like they tested the product, and they cut out the whole thing to like a creative and running this creative for like 2 weeks, and they already got like a notice from the TV channel that they need to take it down. That's why they scaled so hard, because they wanted to squeeze everything out of it. But it was performing like fucking crazy.
oh wait, I think I might know what product that is. It
Yeah, for
wasn't,
sure. Everybody knows it.
Sebastian. Was it?
I can tell you, Sebastian had nothing to do with it. He just claims he has something to do with it, but
Oh, really?
he had absolutely nothing to do with that. No. He just I mean, these two guys here, they live in Cyprus. They're good friends of mine. And they booked him because they wanted to scale the product. And literally what happened was Sebastian gave them some bullshit TikTok frameworks to scale their ads. They have not done anything of that. Just randomly, the TV show picked their product for whatever reason. And then they cut the ads together, and then they run the product and scaled it like a shit ton. And then 1 month later, Sebastian started to run ads with like, how I scaled this brand to 2 million in 2 weeks. It's like,
Okay.
What was the product?
it was
It
this
was
kind of like
Bleem, wasn't
fucking shaver, the Bleem, yeah, the
It was
Bleem thing in
Bleem,
Germany.
yeah.
Ah, right.
I remember watching that video ages ago, just randomly. It's really
Yeah.
funny. Okay. So I hear your advice on starting other things, but let's say if I were to still pursue ecom, because obviously all my other questions are based off that. So I see you speak a lot about, intricate back-end topics on your Twitter, like Facebook profiles and things of that nature. Like when would you actually bother learning about those things or needing those things? Like, should you worry about any of that? Because it sounds like you're pretty clued on when it comes to like PayPal holds and VAT and shit like that, and not getting into trouble based on stories you've heard. So, and I know Ethan will be cacking his pants because he's I haven't needs a conversation with the VAT man. But yeah, is there anything like that you would worry about in the beginning?
No, I mean, I can tell you how I started. I started to do 450,000 in revenue, and I didn't even have a company open. I was running it through my personal PayPal account. So that's how I started.
Me too.
Okay.
So I didn't even, because I had no idea how to even fucking set up a company. So I was just like figuring it out. And one thing that I always do, and maybe it's a stupid thing to do, but I still do this to this day, and I stand by it. Is like I first make money and then I figure out how to solve all the problems that come with it. So yeah, because you can literally figure out every problem once you made enough money, and to worry about something right now when you don't even made some money, I feel like it's like wasted time and wasted nerves. So I would not even worry about anything that isn't important right now.
Okay. Well, I guess my next set of questions, kind of like leaning to that, is kind of like that hustler, like in Andrew Tate style, just get cash as best as possible, or being like an operator. Would you advise in the beginning? Because I know, again, I only have like 5K coming in a month. Like there was the thoughts of maybe getting an editor, which I know you've spoke about team as well. But would you advise being more in control at the start, or doing, being more in control and doing the trench work, or are you happy to just like maybe build a team and just focus on cash and being like more hustler?
I mean, the only thing that I would probably do at the beginning would be hire a video editor or a graphic designer, because this is cheap and this will take a huge amount of time off your shoulders. But hiring anything else above that is, I feel like, a waste of your resources.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Because
you've got to be in the trenches yourself to begin with, or else it's going to make
yeah,
hiring
100%.
hard.
Is that why
But
you edited
I'm
all
not
those videos to get the cam?
No, but that's what we're saying. Like video editing, if you were to sit down and learn how to video edit, it's just a waste of fucking time, because you can outsource,
yeah, exactly.
you can outsource that for so cheap.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
For other roles, like a creative strategist, you can't bring in a creative strategist even if you've got the funds and know if he's even doing any good work, without actually getting that experience yourself. So yeah, you got to be in the edges from the get go. But then of course, video editing, outsource.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think also this is the beauty about ecom for beginners. I'm still not even sure if ecom is the best thing as a beginner to start online, but the beautiful thing about ecom is that you learn so many different things. It's not just like running traffic. It's like running traffic, doing the creatives, doing the testing different offers, different landing pages, different styles, different funnels. AUV, learn all about the metrics and all that stuff. Once you have figured this all out for yourself, then it's like easy to outsource, and then it's also easy to pivot into any other business. So that's why I think ecom is good, because you need to figure out everything yourself first.
Yeah. Because I know some people, like, they just want to do the trench work for the sake of learning the skill. But even though they won't use it in the future, and when all of us are in ecom to eventually like just print money, it's kind of, I always battle, should I know the skill, or should I just like focus on actually making cash? Especially when you're desperate as well. You're still working a bloody 9 to 5 and all you want to do is, go to Dubai and smoke shisha.
I think you gave your own answer. Because
Yeah.
if you just want to make money and just get out of your job, then the most important thing is not to learn some random skills or to read some fucking book or whatever. It's just to make money. So I would not even waste time to learn anything. You can do this once you're at like my position or whatever, when your team is running your brands, your stores, and you have enough time to like study random things, just for the sake of like studying. But I would not do this if I would start out. If you are starting out, then make a list of like what's the what kind of like tasks are driving revenue, and only do this, do nothing else.
Okay. Cool. So next question. I hear like a lot of people speak about it, and you've touched on it, like obtaining the new and improved product and reiterating on what the competition is already doing. But I've never actually heard like anyone, and I know this is for down the line, this question is not really applicable, but I know it might be to some people in the Discord, so I thought I'd ask it. Like, what's the actual process of seeing a product, being like, right, I can make this change to the product and make it better, and then launching it? What is the timeline, and what are the steps from seeing that product and then actually launching it yourself?
I think I will just give you an example of what we have scaled in the past because then it's the easiest. So
Yeah.
in like 2 years ago or so, I have seen a lot of brands scaling this fucking dog collars that give your dog like electric shocks, and then the dog stops barking to kind of like an anti-bark collar,
Yeah.
whatever. And I saw a lot of brands that are like killing it and scaling it and everything. And I was studying a little bit over like the Amazon reviews, and me also being a dog owner, like I want to fucking stop barking with the dog or stop the dog from barking, but I don't want to give them the electroshock. Then I did some basic research, found that there is another device which is kind of like an ultrasound device. So you are just having some kind of like stick that sends an ultrasound that only your dog can hear, and then it like gets your dog confused and he stops barking as well. So we set up a landing page for this, started to sell it, and it was scaling from like the first second. It was going crazy, insane numbers. And this is only because I found this product, like the collar thing, and I knew, okay, there is an issue with it because people like it, but there is another subsequent of the people that are looking for a product like this, but they would not use it because they don't want to give your dog electric shocks. So we just try to find another product that does the same without giving the dog electric shocks.
Okay. So you see that, and then is it a case that you? Oh no, so that's a product that's already available, isn't it?
Yeah, we never create something. No,
Okay,
we just try to. So we would not go there and create the product from scratch. No, never. We would just find another product that could be used for the same purpose
Yeah, okay.
in a better way.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure when I heard people talk about making those changes to a product that you already know exists, whether they were actually like going to their supplier in China, being like, right, can we basically manufacture this or add this to the product, and then launching it themselves. That's
No,
what
I
was,
would never do. I would never like manufacture your own product directly when you don't have any data that it's working because I feel like it's wasted time.
Okay.
So if you have tested a similar product before and you're killing it, you're scaling it, and you survey your customers and you figure out, okay, there is a bunch of issues with the product, then you can go there to your supplier and tell them, okay, please change this and this and this, and let's adopt another design or whatever. Yes, but right from the start, just from product research, no, that's like way too. Yeah, the chances of it being successful are way too low for the time you put in there.
Okay. Cool. And then last question. I know you spoke about the different types of creatives that you would launch on an initial test. How many would you aim to launch, like new concepts and then hook variations when you're first doing a product test?
With the first product test, when we test something outside of our niche, I would test something like 3 to 4 ad sets. Each ad set is a different concept with 2 to 3 different ads in there. Then I would let it run for like 2 days, read the data, decide if it's a creative issue or if it's an offer issue. If it's an offer issue, I just turn everything off, work on the offer, restart everything again. If it's a creative issue, then it depends on how many of the creatives are working and how many are not working. If all of them are not working, maybe I would test another 3 concepts. If they're also not working, then I would just dump the product. If 2 concepts are working, then I would just focus on doing more iterations on the 2 concepts that are working and try to scale up my way from that.
Okay. So how much are you roughly spending on a initial test?
For like your typical drop shipping product, we spend per ad set like 75 to 100 a day. You let it run for 2 days, 3 days. So yeah, you're at like 2000 max.
Okay.
And then
Cool.
and then it depends on the numbers. If the numbers are kind of like break even and you have a feeling that you can make it work somehow, doesn't matter if it's like offer or creative, then I would just keep testing. If the numbers are completely off, then I would just kill it after the second day and move on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've kind of got that scenario right now. Obviously, I'm spending a lot less, but it's break even. I'm not sure like what to do with it.
Yeah,
but-
if it's break even, we consider this as a successful test. Because
Okay.
when we are testing something, we are just throwing shit at the wall and see what's working. We have no idea about the offer. We have no idea about the price range. We have no idea about the funnel. we have nothing. So to get the product from break even to like 20% profitable, it can go super quick.
Actually, yeah, just a quick question based on the back of that, because I've noticed there's a roadblock when, so I'll find a product, I'll get some creatives together, whether it be B-roll, rip some, whether it's from like TikTok Shop and stuff. So then you have like pretty much the main videos that you're launching and creatives that you're launching for the test. And then let's say you let it run for 5 days, you realize that it's break even or very slightly unprofitable, and you can make some changes to the creatives. But you've kind of already exhausted what's available to you out there. Is that when you would get UGC, or would you just try and force as much B-roll from what's out there as you possibly can?
I would not get own UGC content before I would get inventory of the product. So only if we say, okay, this is like a product that is like consistent for like 2 weeks straight without touching it, without ups and downs, then we get inventory and then we get our own content. Before that stage, I would try to rip content if possible and just like mix and match it in different ways together. Try different voiceovers, try AI avatars, try everything that is out there, besides you actually getting the product.
Okay. So just another quick one off the back of that, sorry. So like how long would you let it run with the initial creatives, see that okay, over the next, let's say 3 days, it's break even. How often would you launch new creatives basically in that initial testing period?
Depends on the data. If the CPCs are completely off, the CTRs are off, and the CPMs are off, then probably it's like a product market fit or something around the product is like not thinking. I would maybe test 1 or 2 more concepts and that's it. If the CPCs are good but it's not converting, I would just let it run and work on the offer or work on the conversion rate. Then I would not even launch any new creatives. I'll literally just check how good are the numbers, and then based on the numbers, I decide what I'm working on and also how long I let it run.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Is there a demographic that you wouldn't sell to? And I don't mean like
cash on delivery countries.
Okay.
So India, for example, or Eastern Europe or stuff like that, because you cannot get it profitable without cash on delivery. It's impossible. And cash on delivery is a fucking huge pain in the ass. I tried it and it's the worst.
Okay. Because I'm selling a product at the moment, and it seems to be, I don't honestly know how I can say this without sounding racist, but it seems to be one set of people that are coming to the store based on the creatives, and it's the add to cart to purchase ratio is like massive, and so I was just wondering if
you mean massive in terms of like drop off?
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't even say it's I wouldn't even say it's maybe an issue of the demographic. I would more say people are interested, but they are still not convinced to spend so much money for the product. So I would test different offers and make it more irresistible. That it's kind of like, okay, I need to buy this, otherwise it's gone, or otherwise I will never get it at this price. I would not say this is directly related to the demographic.
Okay, cool.
So usually when we have like a huge drop off from add to cart to conversion rate, it's more of an offer or a price issue instead of anything else. So I would work on offers then.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm definitely done there. So I appreciate your answers, Dom. And again, Cam, thanks for setting this up.
Cheers, mate. How are you doing for time, Dom?
How I do what?
How are you doing for time? Do you still have time?
I'm fine. Well, I have time as long as you want.
Yeah, I forgot you do nothing. Right, let me bring up.
Yeah.
Let me bring up BAMS.
Hear me?
Yeah, hey, bro.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, cheers, Cam, for setting this up as well. But my question's kind of a spin-off on Ruben's question. So if you're working with like a bigger budget, let's say like around 6 figures liquid, and you've had like success in ecom, but as like Kane has said before, you've scaled before and you've kind of just like hit the wall with the product. So your skills aren't like crazy in ecom. Like, how would you go about like new product tests when you have like a much higher budget?
I mean, first of all, I just come back to what I just said. It's like I would try to figure out why the first product died, because there is no such thing that products are dying. You can sell products forever. It's just like finding a new audience, finding a new subset of the audience, or finding a new market or whatever it is, and then you can just keep selling to the same audience forever, or to kind of like a different audience, but keep selling the same product forever. This would be the first thing that I would check on, because it's the easiest and it's the most, it's the quickest way to success. Instead of like trying to go for like a completely different niche where you have like zero idea what's working. But yeah, if you want to go for new products, I would do the exact same strategy. Doesn't matter if you have a lot of money or if you have less money. I would still not test with more budget. I would still not test. I would probably test faster. So I would hire a team directly that takes off all the work that you don't want to do. So I would hire a creative team directly. I would hire another freelancer that sets up all the product pages or funnels. And you focus only on the product research and decide what product's getting tested. Send it over to the creative team. The creative does all the work. Then you test it yourself, see the data, and then based on the data, you decide what to do next.
Makes sense. But yeah, with regards to like the previous products, I think that one's done and dusted, since it wasn't necessarily a dupe, but it kind of was a dupe. Like, it was basically like an exact copy of an already like proper like branded product by like a big brand. So
Yeah, but-
even like it got to a point where like all the creatives, like everything just became exhausted and like there were too many issues, even though it was at decent scale.
Like issues in terms of like getting your ad account shut down, or
Yeah, like DMCA stuff like that. Like, it was like DMCA wars, etc. And yeah, like ad account issues, getting bans, etc.
yeah, but that's I
And
feel like
even
that's the
like,
easiest.
you reckon?
Yeah, because then you have something that you know is working and it's kind of like ripped off from somebody. Then just try to figure out why this is working for somebody else. Try to recreate this in like a new, unique way. And yeah, I mean, it depends on how big the brand was that you ripped off. If it's a fucking, I don't know, Nike dupe or whatever, then people are buying it because of Nike. But if it's some problem solver product, then I would try to figure out why it's working and how you can make it work with your own unique way.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that was all. That was my only question. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Cheers.
Right, let's see if Yang's mic is working.
Yeah, is it working this time?
Yes. Hey, man.
Thanks, Cam. Thanks, Dom. Really appreciate it. So one of my question is that, remember in one of your posts, you said that one way to stand out is selling in an untapped country. So, for example, taking a product scaling in the States and selling it in small countries, smaller European countries. So I think you've mentioned that Israel and Switzerland, really good countries to scale in, which are smaller markets. There any other European countries that you think would be great to sell in for beginners, such as maybe Belgium or Netherlands? And maybe can you talk
No.
about the nuances, things to pay attention to, in different EU countries?
Yeah, sure. So Netherlands and Belgium, I would stay away from. It's the country got destroyed with like no shippers. It's like impossible to get anything profitable there, or at least I cannot get anything profitable there. So I would stay away from that. If you got access to Klarna, all the Nordic countries are good. Sweden, Norway, Finland, crazy good. If you don't have access to Klarna, Denmark is very good as well with credit card only. Another country that is like doing well, that like not a lot of people are speaking about is Poland. with Airwallex and Blick payment provider or P24 payment provider that is also doing really good. Right now is what's also doing pretty good compared to before is Italy. Italy used to be a huge cash on delivery country. Now we are doing decent numbers there as well with only credit card and PayPal. Australia, I feel like is still pretty untapped. But Australia, the problem is the shipping costs to Australia are super high. So it depends on, yeah, how much margin you have. That's basically it. I mean, you still have all the South American countries like Brazil that are going crazy, but it's super hard to do the payment processing there. So I would not advise as a beginner to go into these countries.
Right, gotcha. I think you mentioned something about Poland. Does it work on only
Yeah.
credit cards?
No, it works on, it's called Blick or P24. Both of these payment methods are included in Airwallex.
Right. So I would need a business account or a company to do so, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Right, gotcha. And so one of my key bottlenecks now is actually sourcing products with low COGS that also ships to the smaller European countries that you've talked about. Because I did some search on AliExpress and a lot of them have high COGS and it takes them like a month to ship to maybe Denmark or Switzerland. And going for a private supply is an option, but I think a lot of them has MOQ. So if any suggestions or, any way to get around that as a beginner?
100% get a private supplier. You should not ship anything with AliExpress. There is no way on earth I would recommend using AliExpress. There are a bunch of private suppliers that even take you if you only do like 3 or 10 or whatever sales a day. So I would directly go with like a private supplier, 100%.
Yeah, but wouldn't they require, let's say, 10 plus orders a day before they
No.
accept you?
No. I mean, most of them, no. I think it doesn't even matter if you do 1 order or 2 orders a day. They will just like put more effort into you when you are doing higher order numbers. So they will give you like a dedicated person that you can speak with or whatever it is. But even if you do just like 1 order a day, you can use pretty much any of the bigger suppliers, I feel like.
I gotcha. All right, that's helpful. Another question is that since I'm in a pretty similar state as Ruben in a sense where I don't have that much cash flow might be an issue in scaling. Would you recommend just starting maybe 2 to 3 stores at cash flow, let's say 10K per month, and don't scale them but maintain them at a scale and use the cash flowing dropshipping stores, build and scale a branded store so that cash flow wouldn't be an issue?
Yeah, I always would do that. I did it in the same way. When I switched from like dropshipping stuff to branding stuff, we had in the beginning the dropshipping stuff still running until the branding stuff did the same amount of profit, and then we just stopped the dropshipping stuff and only continued with the branding stuff. Yes, I always would do this.
And you would just test the kind of products that you've said would do well on just image ads or that you can just
Yeah.
rip and sort of
Yeah.
like
Or for image ads, you can even like recreate them yourself because it's like easy to recreate them.
are there certain niches that lend better to this sort of image ads, like home decor, jewelry? Is there any other niches that you would look at?
Fashion.
I would literally scroll through AliExpress and check all the products that you can directly understand what the product is about just by looking at but just by looking at the image, because that's basically, yeah, it could be everything. It could be literally everything. It could be even weight loss products, as long as you directly understand from looking at the image what the product is about.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Another thing. So one of my main strategy now, because as you say, the best thing to do right now as a beginner is to just rip and run stuff or run image ads, is to take maybe some products that are scaling on TikTok Shop, don't have sort of a presence or a really big presence on Meta, and sort of advertise that in Meta, especially in smaller countries like Denmark or Switzerland, is by translating the language of the creatives, cloning the store and everything and the ads, by just translating them into the native language. Do you think that still works?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I never have done this exact method, but I know that a lot of people are doing it, and a lot of people are successful with it. One thing that if you're going for like the native countries or the smaller European countries, you 100% need to translate everything. It needs to sound completely native. If it doesn't look like that the native person has set up the store, then it's like yeah, there's no way that anybody would buy, especially in countries like Germany, Switzerland, or Poland as well, where they are like super skeptical about buying online. If they see a few issues on the website, they will just end up not buying. But you will instantly see this with on your conversion rate. So what I would do, I would use something like DeepL to translate the website. Then I would run a bunch of traffic, and then if the conversion rate is too low, or if the add to cart rate is too low, then I would go on Upwork, hire a proofreader from this country, and let the proofreader check the website and check all or change all the spelling issues.
Right. Or you would just directly hire a proofreader before you even run ads to it, just to make sure that
No, I would not,
the language
because if you hire a proofreader directly without having data, then you're just wasting time and you're just wasting money. So I only would hire the proofreader after you have run the ads and see, okay, the conversion rate is the issue.
What would you say is a good conversion rate for these smaller countries, and how would you know if the translation is the issue?
If your add to cart rate is below 5%, then the conversion rate is then it doesn't convert good enough. So we always look at add to cart rates between 8 and 10%, because then you usually end up with like conversion rates between 2 to 4%, and that's usually where you want to be. But it always depends, obviously, about the AOV and about the product. But I feel like for most dropshipping products, conversion rate of like 2 to 4% is like decent, and around 8 to 10% add to cart rate.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's super helpful. And I think you've mentioned Israel. Does it work only on credit cards as well, without any other payment processors?
Yes. No, only credit card. But you need to set up the website in Hebrew, so not in English.
Like, okay, cool. So same as basically every other countries in Europe, basically.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Last two questions that I have, which is you've said that e-com game in 2015 is so different from how it is now, and I assume it's just gonna keep changing and we have to keep adapting. So you see the e-com landscape sort of evolving in the next 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 years, and what's the best way we can sort of position ourselves to adapt and win in the next shift?
I think the most important stuff is that you just like go with the new trends, or go with how the market is going. So just because something is working for you right now, don't like keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Like be open to try like new traffic sources, new ways, new structures, new landing pages, new whatever. And the best way, as I said before, is to learn from the people that are spending way more money on ads than all of the e-com guys combined, and these are the affiliates. So I would just study all the ClickBank affiliates, all the good offers. I would check how their sales process is. I would check how their funnel is, which kind of like tone they are using, how they structure their advertorials and stuff like that, because you can learn so much more from them than from anybody else.
Are most ClickBank products like very specific to maybe supplements, or most of them are info products?
There's loads in there, bro. There's like dating offers. There's everything.
Yeah. You even have like supplements. There's like a shit ton. You have everything.
Last question.
So study the funnels there. Yeah, this is actually the last question. So when you say always be testing offers, so my understanding of testing offers is quite limited to just changing the pricing, doing different bundle deals, shipping thresholds. What exactly do you mean by testing the offers apart from what I've just listed? Are there any other ways to test the offers?
I mean, even within bundles, you can probably test 30 different things by just bundling up with like completely different things. Try to go for like super high value and set a high price. Try to go for like lower value and add only digital products. You can do like unlimited things with only these few things that you have listed up. So it's not like I would test like a bundle offer and then I set up one bundle, and if the bundle doesn't work, then I would say, okay, fuck it, bundle doesn't work. I would then test probably 20, 25 different bundle variations with different pricings, with different things included in the bundle, to just figure out what has the highest margin and what has the highest conversion rate.
Yeah, and you can also test, it doesn't always have to be a pricing change. It could even be things like changing the layout of the bundle. So we just did a test recently where
Yeah.
we initially had bundles that were vertical. Now we've changed our bundle options to being horizontal. And then we ran another test, horizontal, came out on top. And then we ran another A/B test, which was having the price per bundle versus the price per unit in the bundle. So it's just all these different variations, as Dom said. You just got to think outside the box.
It always makes a huge difference in like how you are presenting the bundle. Do you present the bundle directly in the first product page, product image that they see? Do you have a banner on top? Do you only have it below the add to cart button? These are things that sounds like super easy tests and sounds like it's like stupid, but they can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
I actually wouldn't expect it to make a huge difference at all. So yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Cam and Dom.
I tell you, you can go with the same product from like a 1% conversion rate to a 4% conversion rate in one product test. That's like pretty normal and pretty common that you do this, compared to when you do the bullshit CRO stuff that the guys are telling you on Twitter, like, I don't know, change the structure of the landing page or change whatever. This usually doesn't make any huge difference. This is usually, I don't know, you get your conversion rate 0.2% higher or something like that. But with changing the offer and changing like the pricing or how you present the offer, this makes huge differences.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Awesome call, man. Thanks, Dom. I'm done with
Thank
my
you.
questions.
Right, cool. Dom, what would you say? A couple, I know Nikita was asking about, Ognel was asking about native ads, and yeah, I'm curious as well. How long have you been running on native for, and what was, like, how did you initially get started on the platform? Did you learn the media buying yourself, or did you go straight in and hire someone? I've ran myself on Rev Content. I'm not sure whether you've used that before. It was okay. I ran on Rev Content back in like 2021, but that was for an affiliate offer. But I think for one of my brands, I'm looking to get deep into native this year.
Since when I run it? Since September. I think in like August, I first heard about it from a friend that was doing well, that was kind of like scaling fake orthopedic shoes on native with like crazy high success. I'm speaking about like 50, 60K days in fucking Germany. So I was like, okay, what? Only native? How the fuck you do this? And then I looked into it myself, and I basically teach it myself. I think right now we are spending somewhere between 30 to 40K a day on native. So Taboola and Outbrain combined. We don't do the smaller ones. We are looking for the smaller ones right now, but mainly focusing on the bigger ones. So only Taboola and Outbrain. And once you have cracked them, then it's a fucking rip and run. I tell you, I have never seen such a scale in such a short period of time. On Facebook or anywhere else, and it's like super. How do you say it? It's like super hands off, because you're not testing a lot of create. Once you figured something out, like once you find your creative that works, and once you find your funnel structure that works, then you can fucking run the same thing for 2 months and not touch it. So right now we are spending 20K on Outbrain with the same creative that we have tested in before Christmas. It's the same thing, right? Yeah, we have not touched anything.
Jeez, I've got the same question as Ognel. What's your checklist for cracking like Outbrain or Taboola, and like what's actually working for you on the platform? You said once you crack it, it's almost like a home run. But what's actually working at the minute?
So for us, what works the best, especially in Europe, is running the traffic through a listicle. Usually it's like 5 reasons, 7 reasons why. Also on the listicle, you directly mention that is some kind of like huge sale going on right now, so that you have higher click-through rates, and then you send them directly to the Shopify product page. So we send them first to a funnelish advertorial or listicle, and then from funnelish advertorial, we send them to Shopify product page. And then it's just all about making the numbers work. So you want to have the highest you want to have the highest CTR possible on the creative, and then you want to the highest CTR possible on the advertorial to product page, and then you just need to figure out the combination between creative and headlines. So it's basically just a bunch of testing of different headlines and creatives. Once you have found the funnel structure that converts good. So first we test the advertorials. We test advertorials to find advertorials that are getting us a click-through rate of like 25 to 35%. Once we are there, then we switch over and we focus only on testing creatives and testing headlines. What's also working very good for us right now on Outbrain is not static images, but they have some kind of like AI tool integrated into Outbrain where you can like make it's not a GIF, but it's like your static image is like moving slowly, but there is like not much going on. It's just like zooming in and zooming out and like moving, and this is working the best by far for us right now. Yeah.
So when you got started, because that's pretty recent, when you got started, did you go in what did you go in with one market in mind to crack first, or
Yeah.
which was
we
that?
could we went in with our biggest brand in Germany, yes, which is a completely non-native brand because it's not even in the health space, or there is no need for it even to use a fucking advertorial.
Interesting. And then have you expanded outside of Germany since?
Yeah, we are in like all of the countries that we are selling right now. So we run it in the UK, we run it in Switzerland, Austria, US, Australia. We tried Netherlands, but didn't work.
Have you found when you're actually coming in to target these different countries through native, like what are they? Have you noticed some key differences between them when it comes to actually the funnel itself?
It's huge. I mean, no, the funnel itself is pretty much the same as long as the offer is fine. It's basically just a translation, but you need to do the whole finding the right creative that matches the right headline again, because on native you cannot run multiple countries in one ad set or in one campaign. So each country has its own campaign, and you basically start from scratch because you are bidding on CPCs. And each country has completely different CPCs, so you never want to mix multiple countries into one campaign.
How long did it take for the initial campaign to get profitable, and after how much spend? Because from what I've heard from some of the guys I've spoken to who do native, a lot of it comes down to who can spend the most. Like it's a money game, right?
I agree at the beginning. So at the beginning, it's kind of like, yeah. So native is different than Facebook because they are not finding you buyers; they are just giving you traffic. And then you go the other way by blacklisting the bad traffic and try to spend more on the good traffic. And yeah, but just write me. I will hook you up with a rep, and they will give you premium publisher lists, and you are good to go directly.
Appreciate it. Are you using volume for tracking?
No, we don't. I want to switch to volume, but we have not done it yet. We are using AnyTrack. AnyTrack server-side tracking works pretty good.
Mete was asking, would you say native ads is for older or younger demographic, or literally anything can work once cracked?
Definitely older, because you just need to think about who is searching on the web or who is like reading newspapers on the web. It's usually like 35, 40 plus. So I would not test anything that is like for super young audiences.
Yeah. What's the you said that you were spending way more on native than Meta. What is the difference in like ROI? Like, are you actually more profitable on the platform, or just spending more on the platform, or both?
I cannot even tell you because we are not looking at it in that way. We are mostly using last click attribution. So the way how we run native is we just want to get as many clicks as possible, and then we have our Google setup and our Criteo setup and our display ads setup and our in-app setup where we basically retarget them forever, and there is where we see then like a 10x ROAS. And on native, we are just looking to get the cheapest clicks. And I mean, we are when you check the numbers directly in the ads manager or in their ads manager, we are kind of like 10% profitable. But in reality, we are like, I don't know, 30% profitable overall because all the clicks get like retargeted forever and they just convert on like a different channel later.
Yeah, makes complete sense. Which platform did you go for first? Were you on Taboola or Outbrain initially?
Yeah, Taboola. I would also advise everybody to go on Taboola first because Outbrain is way harder to figure out, and Outbrain is also way stricter in terms of like how aggressive you can be. Taboola is way more chill.
Okay, cool. And last question on this: what has the UK performance been like on native for you?
The UK performance, to be honest, in general is pretty shit for us. It's one of the only countries that I could never figure really out, so we never really scaled huge in the UK. I don't know why this is, but for us in the UK, native works better than Facebook. Like Facebook literally cannot figure it out. I don't know why. Maybe it's our brand because our brands are, or one of our brands is like in the home decor space, so it's a lot of like which kind of like design you like, and I think it's just not appealing to people in the UK.
Okay, interesting. All right, man, let me bring up Max. Yo, Max.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Just a quick question, Dom. I don't know if you are familiar. Do you know the brand Glow in Germany? Glow 25, like this collagen powder.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know this brand, but I know a bunch of brands that are scaling that. Yeah,
Or for example, this Omega. Do you know Pascal, Julian? Who does this like Omega?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they do like heavily editorials,
Yeah.
and it always looks like this. How do you say in English? Verbraucherschutz, or I don't know how to.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like how would you set this up? Is this legal? And second, is this something you've seen working?
So with advertorials, it always depends on how you frame things in the advertorial. So you will learn this when you run on native, funny enough, because they will tell you what you can say and how you can say it and what you cannot say. You can never use definitive answers. So you can never use, for example, this product helps with whatever. But you can say this product could help with whatever. It's just like a framing thing, and then there is no issue at all because you're not using definitive answer. Or you could say, what is another good example? Yeah, for example, you could not say Dr. Max is recommending this product, but you can say doctors are recommending this product because then it's not definitive again. So it's always just a matter of like how you are framing it. And obviously that's also for native and also for every other thing that's in the health space. I would also always put in the footer that like this is not health advice, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff, that you are like legally covered. And then you can do pretty crazy stuff.
No, like it's always they look so trustworthy, like this editorial pages. It's like Health Magazine.
It doesn't even matter. Even with like customers in Germany, it doesn't even matter if it looks trustworthy, because if you are having this problem that they are solving, you are just like reading the text and absorbing the text, and you are so like triggered by the text and into the text that you just want to have the solution. So it doesn't really matter how it looks. Like our editorials all look like shit.
And second question, thanks for that. Second question is when you like I'm starting in Germany, Austria, and Swiss. Is there any revenue you hit and then you start selling it to Europe or US, or is
No.
it just gut feeling?
You can go super big in just these three countries. They are super scalable. Like we are doing consistently over 100K days with like one single product in all of these countries for like 4 months straight. So that's like no problem at all in this country, especially Germany. If you go for Switzerland, so what I would do is I would test all three countries in one store, and once you see that the store is doing well, I would put Switzerland into another store and run it in Swiss francs, and make the price more expensive there, and that's it. Because then it just automatically converts better because of the native currency, and you have more margin because you sell it for a higher price, and you will have the same conversion rate or even a higher conversion rate.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Max.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, hey bro.
Cool, awesome. So I've got so obviously I'm doing Cam's sort of products in the Diamond Chat. But I've also got with my brother a home decor brand. And for that, like UK ads at Facebook, they're just like not working at all for us. So they'll be super clumpy, and then we'll get like organic sales. Sometimes we'll do like 1.2K just like organically. It must be through Google or something, like through SEO or some shit. Would you recommend doing Google ads then and Taboola for that?
Probably not, because it sounds like you have not even figured out the right offer or the right funnel structure to make it work. Because there is no such thing that, okay, this product doesn't work on Facebook. It's more of a thing of like, try to analyze why it doesn't work, try to fix it, and then once it's fixed, then move it to another platform.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because if it's a home decor brand, you can run it everywhere. Everywhere besides TikTok. Like TikTok usually doesn't work for home decor, only if it's like something super new and something super flashy. But all the other platforms, so Facebook, Google, Native, Pinterest, probably YouTube as well. All these platforms could work.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, I'll just fire more out then in that case. Appreciate
I
it.
would just try to figure out why it's not working, try to work on it, and try to like improve the things that are not working, if it's the creative or if it's the offer, and then go from there.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
All right, bro. We're gonna do the last few questions real quick. Pepe was saying, how would you go about optimizing your offer on a new store? Just split testing a bunch of different pricing structures, adding free gifts, ebook maybe, wondering what the highest levers for you when optimizing offers.
That's basically what I would do. I would set up probably 3 to 4 offers at the same time in the same store. The way how we are doing it is we just duplicate the product and then run it with like the different offers. As long as it's in testing, it's on low scale anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then I would track the add to cart rate of each individual offer and see which one has the best add to cart rate and conversion rate at the end, and then go with the winner and test all of the next creatives only with the best performing offer.
Nice one. Let's see. Talked about Google Ads, ripped from Meta for quick money. How do you go about this?
I will probably write something about this on Twitter today, like a deep thread where it's more understandable.
Nice one. What's the long-term goal / when you create a brand, are you looking to exit at some point down the line?
If it's a EU only brand, then it's only cash flow. If it's a EU brand with some sort of revenue from the US, then exit, yeah. Because EU only brands, once you scale them up to like higher numbers, it's pretty much impossible to exit them. I feel like.
Are you running any subscription brands? Are any of the brands like subscription high LTV, or is it mainly just like cash
Uh,
brands?
no, only the. I mean, they're all LTV brands because we have like a huge amount of customer base that comes back, usually between like 30 to 40% on each brand, but they are not subscriptions. The only subscription is in the ebooks, which is kind of like a mastermind group or something like that behind the ebooks. Yeah.
Is that the most profitable brand or not because it's lower scale?
It's lower scale, but in terms of like percentage, it's the most profitable, yeah. But it's not in terms of like net profit numbers, no, it's not.
How do you choose running a product in the US versus EU? And do you ever run worldwide campaigns?
No, we never run worldwide. And to be honest, we start every product in the EU first, figure out the funnel, figure out the offer, figure out the pricing, and only then move it to the US. I feel like that's way easier for us.
Same here. How did you get 30 to 40% repeat customer rate without replenishable products?
Just having like a high quality product and then incentivizing the customers to come back by using different angles, for example, like the gifting stuff or like Valentine's Day or whatever, where they can like buy it for somebody else when they already have it. And it's so much easier when they are happy themselves with the product to like get them to buy it again for somebody else. Yeah, that's basically what we do. And we also always give them like new prices, exclusive prices, and exclusive offers, just that they come back and like buy more for themselves or for others.
What with that brand that you've been running for 3 years, I think you said in the German market, like what's been like the main lever that you've pulled to be able to still acquire new customers at a profitable level? Is it just offers and new creatives and new traffic sources?
The offer thing kind of like burned out for us beginning of last year. Then the main lever was reducing the price significantly to like tap into a new audience over Meta. Then the next thing was expand the product ranges so that we find more hero products that we can run direct cold traffic to, and then we just get like a higher audience again for the other product as well. And the third thing I would say is like diversified traffic sources. Like we made a huge jump in like September and October when we started to run on all the other platforms. Because it pushed. I feel like when once you run something for too long on Facebook, your kind of like ad account gets like too stuck on one audience or one audience type or one audience pocket. And once you start to run on like all the other platforms, it gives Facebook a signal of like other people. And I feel like then on Facebook, it also widens your audience and Facebook starts to show your ads again to other people. And that's why when you run on other platforms, automatically your Facebook ads also get better.
What would you say when you're seeing fatigue within your ad account? Maybe you're running in a smaller market like Germany. Maybe the frequency is getting a bit high and the new customer ROAS is dropping down. What's like the first thing you would do? Is it what you've just said there, or would it be like swapping out a different ad account?
We have done this as well, but not even intentionally. We just got one ad account randomly shut down for 2 days, and during this period of 2 days we just started another ad account, and for some reason the other ad account was giving us like completely different numbers. Like before we had like €1 CPCs, and on a new ad account we all of a sudden had like 40 cent CPCs. So we had like a totally different audience there. So yeah, this is something that helps. The other thing that helps is like whitelisting pages. So run ads on different Facebook pages. That's also what's working good. Price points, and then other traffic sources. Yeah.
How many pages would you run at once?
As many as needed. Usually kind of like a fake influencer page with like a person in the target audience, and then some sort of like a magazine page or like a test website page or something like that. That usually works the best for us. And then also the own brand page as well.
On the same ad account or across spread?
Yeah,
multiple ad accounts?
on the same ad account, just like different campaigns or different ad sets.
Cool. Right. Bit of a quick fire to finish off. Ethan was asking, what opportunities do you look at this level now? It's like the current level that you're at.
What was it?
with like the current level that you're at, obviously you're doing really well in ecom. Cash isn't really an issue. Like, what opportunities do you now look at for your next move?
Um,
And I guess like
I do, I
like a second part to that would be something that I can add in. Would be like, how do you decide on which opportunities to take as well?
I'm just like I'm literally using the dropshipping mentality and test and bring it over to other different business models. So I'm just like setting up some MVP style product or some MVP style business, test it for quickly, see if I can get results quickly, and if I do, then I try to scale it up. If I don't, then I just drop it again, and I do this with like a bunch of different things at the same time, and just look what is working and what is not working. But in terms of like opportunity or what I'm looking next, yeah, as you said, like cash is not really an issue. So it's really more like what I actually like to do. Because ecom, I mean, yes, everybody loves it and it's fun and I love the data part about it and like analyzing, but it's not something that I can imagine doing forever. So I'm more trying to figure out, okay, what I actually like to do.
Yeah. Yep, makes complete sense. Finn was asking, do you think ecom is only at its beginning stages right now? What do you think the future of the space will look like?
I mean, 100% ecom will just get bigger, but I think the China shipping ecom is kind of like at its end phase of life.
You said it's at the end?
Yeah, I feel like with all the tariffs are coming, and then probably the EU will do the same, and then with all the fucking customs thresholds that are getting removed, and like I feel like, I mean, it will not be dead or it will not be gone, but I feel like there will be better opportunities, maybe with like importing and doing local fulfillment or doing any sort of other way. I feel like it will just get harder and harder and harder because yeah, we see it when what happened in the US right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like it's the landscape is just always changing. I mean, back in 2017, 2018, you were right. Like, you didn't even really know how to market. All you had to do was fucking put up a static image of a cat necklace to a shitty PDP and you would make sales. So I think it's the barrier to entry, I think, will only get bigger and bigger with all this bullshit that we've got to deal with. But I think the guys who are at the top, who know who have the connections and they know how to actually problem solve, I think it'll become easier and they'll make more money.
Yeah, I feel like this easy and quick arbitrage game where you just look at countries that have like low CPMs and low CPCs and then just sell some bullshit there and like fuck them up with like the first purchase and then never come back. I feel like this is slowly coming to an end. If you build something long term with maybe like local shipping or whatever it is, I feel like this will never be dead. There will always be some sort of traffic that you can run for that or some sort of whatever. But I feel like the quick and easy rip and run stuff could probably end in the next few years.
Yeah, I agree. I think like if people are wanting to get into ecom and they want to be in the game for a long time, I think coming in with the mentality of just like Chad scaling a product, that's fine if you just need cash, but if you actually want to be printing in like 2, 3, 4 years, I say to people, like, you've got to be building a brand and you've got to have a brand that actually has LTV in it, like ideally subscription. Like that's my core focus right now. Like I've got local shipment, 40% repeat customer rate. Like it's going to be a brand that has longevity. And I think the quicker that you can build a brand where you don't have to rely just on fucking Meta driving your sales, the much better position you're going to be in. Like I
100% agree.
I could turn off my ads now and okay, granted the revenue is going to be down. I can still make profit every single day.
Yeah, especially also the brand building part. We saw a huge increase in our product expansion tests once the brand was already like well known and was already big, because we are having like so one brand has like 4,000 fucking Trustpilot reviews, so it's like huge. So every time when we like introduce a new product or whatever, and they just know the brand name right now, and they just know, especially like in that niche or in that space that we are, like everybody fucking has seen it. We have spent fucking 20 million in Germany on this one single product. So every fucking body has seen it. So the brand is so big out there, so it's so easy to like launch something else or do something within that niche or within that brand, compared to start from zero every few weeks.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Do you even bother launching new stores anymore, or do you just test within the niche?
No, we don't.
Yeah,
We just test within the niches.
yeah, same here.
It's way like our success rate is way higher than if we would jump niches all the time.
Yeah, look at like brands like High Smile. Like they're just constantly adding new
Yeah.
SKUs all the fucking time. Like what?
It's the same.
It's the
It's the
easiest.
same with who is the Josh Snow guy. Like I heard an interview of him where he like was complaining that 2023 they were down massively because like everybody knew the brand and everybody has seen it and whatever, because he used this influencer marketing stuff and like and pushed it with Facebook. And I think right now they are doing better than ever, and the only thing why they are doing it is because they switched over to TikTok Shop. So it's always like new product or new traffic source. That's it.
Yeah, we just launched on TikTok Shop yesterday. I had a question. Yeah, so a question from AS. Should we have different funnels for all traffic sources like native and meta, or could the funnels be the same?
You definitely want to have different funnels, and you also even want to have different funnels within native. So you want to have a different funnel for Taboola, and you want to have a different funnel for Outbrain. This doesn't mean that the funnel needs to be completely different, but the advertorial or some words on the advertorial need to be different, because Taboola is way less restrictive than Outbrain, and Facebook is way looser than Taboola. So you can be way more aggressive on Facebook. You need to be super careful with Outbrain, and you need to be in the middle with Taboola.
Interesting. What do you do? Do you do local fulfillment? Someone's asking.
No, everything's from China.
And Trez is asking how much are you doing with ebooks at the minute?
I think last month we have done something around like 200,000 profit. 190 or something like that.
That's fucking crazy, bro. It's just an ebook.
Yeah.
You have.
I mean, it's right now it's multiple ebooks, but yeah, it's ebooks.
Are you just running like statics or videos as well?
We run videos with some footage in the background and some text overlay. That's it.
So
it's not even UGC. It's nothing.
What does the funnel look like for that then? Like they see the static on Meta, then are they going to what, like the list of
Direct to product page. Direct to product page.
Fucking hell.
Zero funnel. Nothing. There is nothing.
I'm just quitting. I'm quitting my
brand. We have seen we have pretty constant like between 10 and 15% conversion rate on the fucking things.
The fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How long
have
you been running it for?
We started in December 2023. That was the first time when we started something. First month was something like 90k profit, and then it was like, okay, what? Hey, wait, we are on something here, and then we just kept it running. But we tested it in multiple different niches, and so far we only were able to really do well in one niche. All the others were kind of like, yeah, okay, but not really scaling. But one of them is like pretty good. And the way how we are doing it is pretty similar. We just do product research on Amazon, Kindle Publishing, see what's going good there, and then just launch ads for it and go from there.
Yeah, I won't say, but I think I know what it is, and I can see why it works well. I'll write to you later and see.
Probably it's not hard to find. It's not hard to find.
Yeah. What does the video/image look like on Meta for the ebook? You've kind of touched on that. Or I guess, yeah, like what sort of, I mean, you can answer it if you want. Someone's asking what do the images look like on Meta for the ebooks, and what's the pricing as well?
The pricing, it depends on if you're selling one, then it's like something around 19, 16, 14. If it's a bundle of multiple, then it's somewhere between 39 and 59. The images are kind of like more educational stuff. It's like not even mentioning the ebook or not even mentioning that we are selling anything. It's just education.
So the education's in the ad copy. Is it like long form ad copy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. All right, bro. I don't want to take up more of your time because you've been with us for 2.5 hours now. So yeah, I for one really, really appreciate it, and bro, even I learned a lot as well. So really, really appreciate you being so open and sharing all of that sauce. And I mean, we've still got like over 60 people in here, so I know that they've really enjoyed it as well. So thank you very much, bro. And yeah, really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to connecting in Dubai in a few weeks as well.
Yes. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I will definitely let you know once I'm in Dubai, and then we'll just figure something out when we are both there.
Yeah, man. And for anyone who's in the call, if anyone is in Dubai at the end of the month on the 24th of Feb, we're going to be doing like a small gathering. So I think there's about 10 or 11 people who have confirmed so far, just over a message. So on the 24th in Dubai, we'll be getting some shisha somewhere. So just send me a message if you want to come, and I'll maybe make a group. All right, bro.
Yeah.
I'll see
sounds
you.
great.
I'll see you
Great.
in a few weeks.
Yes.
Thank you, man. We'll keep in touch.
No problem. Bye bye.
Bye, guys. Yeah, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Dom's an absolute legend. Who do you guys want on next? Poor Dom must be absolutely dying for a piss right now. Just kept him for 2.5 hours. Zuck. Get Sarscaler. No, that was a good call. Hope you guys learned a bunch there. He's probably, like, out of the bunch of guys that I've met in ecom, he's definitely like one of the realest guys that I've met. And he really does this shit, and he does it to a very high level, and he's got his fingers in all of the pies, as you can probably tell. Do you know much about the ebook stuff? Yeah, I know quite a bit of what he's doing. Yeah, I know quite a fair bit about what he's doing, but obviously I'm not going to say what his niche is, etc. But I tell you what, after him saying he's doing like 200k per month profit doing ebooks, you bet I'm doing an all-nighter now, getting an ebook landing page written up and some campaigns live. Yeah, I can imagine it. I don't know how, I've not actually seen his product. I just know the niche that he's in. But yeah, you can get everything done with AI now. Like, I would just go ahead and get everything written by Claude. Just build like a master chat with Claude. Just feed it a bunch of information. Like, only use that one log chat. Don't open any other chats with them, and you'll be able to write an ebook. Like Dom said that he does his product research on Amazon Kindle publishing. So, I mean, my theory, obviously, I'd be getting into this brand new. Like, I've not done a ton of stuff with ebooks. Sold a dropshipping ebook like back in 2019, and we sold about 50,000 units of it. Maybe some people in this chat even had it. But I would basically go and find a winning ebook on the Amazon Kindle publishing, probably buy that ebook as well, have it downloaded, and then use that as my reference point for Claude. So I would have like the same structure, but then obviously I would change and adapt it to whatever niche that I'm going to be running in. Do you plan to launch ebooks with just meta ads or organic? I'll just go straight into ads, to be honest with you, especially because Dom's saying there that he's just running static images straight to the product page. And if you're running an ebook, you pretty much just need a 1 ROAS to be, or above a 1 ROAS to actually break into profit. So if I had low budget, then yeah, organic, but I'll go straight into Meta. Any examples of people selling ebooks on Meta? No, bro. I've not done any research into it yet. How do you make the creatives for the ebooks though? He's saying that the creative that he's running is irrelevant to the actual ebook himself, to the ebook that he's selling. So I think the worst thing that you could probably do is have a static image of the actual ebook, because no one actually gives a fuck about that. They just feel like they're being sold to straight away. Whereas what he's doing is he'll have maybe an image that is relevant to the niche, but not relevant to the product that he's selling. And then the ad copy will be doing most of the intrigue. So the ad copy will be educational based, so they feel like they're not even being sold to, and then they'll click through onto the PDP. Would you recommend running ebooks to untapped markets like Israel for cash flow? I'm not sure whether I would go for Israel. I think ecom, like as Dom mentioned on the call, like I've seen the same as well in worldwide campaigns. Like Israel is a great country for ecom. I'm just not sure how it works with the ebook side of things. Maybe Lyle has more insight into that. But I would just go straight into running it in the top countries. I think Dom runs his mainly in Germany. Yeah, the PDP is just Shopify. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I'll probably check with him. Actually, like what I might do is, what I used to do actually is when I was selling the dropshipping ebook, I was running ads to that ebook. So it was just ads. It was static ad with long form ad copy, and then I was directing them to a ClickFunnels landing page. No opt-in or anything. I could have made way more money back then if I knew what I was actually doing, but it was a static ad to a ClickFunnels landing page, and then I was selling the ebook for $25, and I was running it. I was mainly scaling it within India, believe it or not. And you can imagine what the cost per click was in India, and it was still a low enough price that it worked well in that market. But with that CPC, and also like people in that country are obviously looking for an opportunity more so than probably people in the UK, etc. It absolutely crushed. That was for a dropshipping ebook that I made. It wasn't doing crazy numbers, but we were doing, I think at the peak, we were doing like round about 45 to 50k per month, and the ad spend was honestly tiny. The ad spend, we were maybe spending like five grand a month at like a 10x ROAS. And of course, there was no logistics or anything. They would just have the ebook sent straight to their email. Just on the order page, there would be a download link, and then also it would automatically get sent to their email as well. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I was selling this ebook from 2018 to the start of 2020, or end of 2019 maybe. But yeah, I mean, ebooks, like you guys don't want to get like shiny object syndrome. Yeah, everything works. Like selling ebooks works, doing pay-per-call works, as Dom said, doing ecom works. I mean, you've heard Dom's numbers. He's doing like 4 mil a month right now. Everything works, but you've just got to focus on one thing to begin with and double down on that, and get your first business cash flowing positively. Put the systems in place, build the team, and then potentially look at other opportunities. Like, I wasn't kidding when I said Dom doesn't really lift a finger now. I mean, he even said it on the call himself. He really doesn't do shit. So most of his time now, I would assume, is mainly just pondering around and thinking. Yeah, it's been in ecom since 2015. Like, that's what, 3 years, 2 to 3 years longer than me. Would you say it's easier to build cash flow with ebooks on the side to fund an ecom brand? I don't know enough about the space now. I've been out of the game in ebooks for 5 years, so I'm not sure how the landscape is. But from what Dom is saying, like, it obviously sounds very lucrative, but at the same time, you've got to remember that Dom isn't your average guy. Like, Dom has everything dialed in. He's been in the game for nearly a decade. He can go into most things now and make it work. You know, as you heard him say, he went and started a lead gen agency and sold it within 6 months. So he knows what he's doing. So the ebook space will be competitive. Don't just listen to what he said and think that is easy, because it's not. Everything is competitive now online because everyone wants to make an income now online. So nothing is easy. Can you be as hands-off as Dom? Yeah, that was a question. I mean, I didn't want to ask him too many questions on the call because I'd rather he brought people up on the stage and asked the chat's questions. But yeah, I alluded to it there about his like structure of his team, and yeah, I think anyone can be as hands-off as him, as long as you have the cash flow and the profit to be able to build the team. That's the main thing. But I think my main bottleneck that I don't have in place right now is an ops manager. So someone to actually run the company for me, because I'm still at the top of the org chart, actually doing the delegating and running the operation. But at the same time, it's like I kind of enjoy it. If I didn't have to do anything, then I can't lie, I'd be pretty bored. Why did you leave it when it was printing money, Cam? Ebooks in 2018, 2019. It just kind of like phased out, to be honest with you. I just stopped pushing it. 2020 was like a really good year of ecom for me, and then obviously we went into COVID and ecom was absolutely booming. So yeah, I just doubled down on more of the physical product stuff. Yeah, he's not golfing 24/7. What do you think about his first answer to my question? Kind of threw me off. Yeah, I wouldn't say I agree with it, but obviously everyone has their own opinion on things, because I think I've just seen too many times people make crazy money in ecom with actually quite a small starting budget. I saw Ognail Nikita put in the chat that he started with $4,000 and he did what, 150k profit last month. Mete as well, you know, started with a couple of grand and did 4.5 mil in November. So I think it depends on the conviction that you have in your own skill set. I think if you have conviction that you can make it work, then I would say double down and make it work, because as long as you have that conviction, you will make it work. As long as you're putting in the work, it's going to happen for you at some point. I'd say if like you don't have a ton of conviction in yourself, then yeah, definitely go for something that is a little bit easier and a little bit less risky. You mentioned TikTok affiliate. Something like that has no risk, of course, because it's just the only cost is your time. Whereas something like drop shipping and ecom, you're putting more cards on the table. You're actually playing with money, playing with ad spend. But yeah, I would do exactly what Trez said, which is if you're cash flowing like 3.5, 4K per month, then that's absolutely fine. I wouldn't, obviously you want to quit your job, but that you're in such a good position. Like to have a cash flowing job to fund your ecom is the position that I was in when I first was getting started, because then you're not as emotional to the money that you're spending. You know, my brother got into ecom, and when he first got started, he had like 3 to 4K in savings, but he didn't have a job that he was working. So he was way more scarce with that money. Whereas if you know that you have X amount of money coming in every single month, then emotionally you're going to be much stronger. And you need to take your emotions out of things when you're testing products. Do you have family and friends that followed you, Cam? They've all asked, bro. They've all asked, as I guess Dom's had as well. And they've all tried, but they've all failed. When GT3? Oh, bro, when I actually have a base somewhere where I can actually have a car to drive. If I had a base somewhere, 100% I would be getting a nice car right now.